Jeffries at first. Todd Zeile, the cleanup man, batting in the 5 spot. Bernard Gilkey, got to get him going. John Mabry, the rookie in right field, he is off to a fine start and making his 3rd start in a row. Geronimo Pena is in the lineup tonight. Luis Alicea really struggling. Pena playing 2nd, batting 7th. Terry McGriff, the catcher. Rene Arocha batting 9th. The defense for the Rockies: Howard Johnson in left, Ellis Burks in center, Dante Bichette in right, with Hayes, Weiss, Mejia, Galarraga on the infield. Joe Girardi catching the former Padre right-hander Greg Harris.
Sixth ball game, 1-1 record. He's had success against the Cardinals in the past. High ERA, but they say his last 3 times out he's been doing an outstanding job. He's been pitching well past 7 innings. The bullpen has just been exploding and giving up 4 blown saves for him. You know, when you look at Greg Harris, he came over last July. He was very disappointing for the Rockies, but he's a little different pitcher than they have seen in the past. They said he didn't really like to accept the fact that he was being called upon to be a #1 starter here. Now he's pitching much better.
Joe Torre trying to get his ball club going here in Colorado. And I think it would be safe to say that yesterday it was not a good night, all things considered, when you talk about not only the pitching, the offense didn't do anything, scoring only the 1 run, and then defensively the Cardinals made 4 errors. So I guess you just wipe away last night and try again tonight as they take on Donnie Baylor and the Rockies.
Well, Donnie Baylor, not only did he get 4 home runs from his offense, but he got an awful lot of base hits and he got a very well pitched game. So he had to be very pleased. It was disheartening for the Cardinals the way they played, and there was a little bit of emotions after the ball game, and let's see if the Cardinals can contain this hot hitting Rockies ball club.
One guy that's been hard to contain, of course, Ray Langford. He'll lead off. Don't just look at the batting average of .351, the 7 home runs, the 18 RBIs, but the on base percentage, Al, of .470, and then the slugging percentage at .660 for Ray Langford. Far better than I think anybody imagined starting this season.
Well, let's just have him continue it and do a good job with the offense. Starts right here with the first pitch.
He's been jumping on it lately. Goes after it. Comes up empty. Greg Harris on the mound. He has a very good breaking ball, and he can keep these hitters off balance, not overpowering, but he has the capability of striking out hitters. There's that big bender, stays high, 1-1.
Well, he's changed a little bit. He's really not throwing that hard. They're saying he's only about 85 on the fast gun. He used to throw much harder than that, and he's come up with an effective cutter.
Langford waits on it and drills it to right. And another good start for Langford and the Cardinals here tonight. That pitch was hanging. Langford started to swing, it looked like, and then stopped and ripped it into right.
Well, it was a slow breaking ball, and they're set up away, and see that ball come back over the middle of the plate, and Ray, because of the fact that the Cardinal hitters are very versed, that they know he has that breaking pitch, he was looking for it and was able to make the adjustment.
So Langford aboard, and Ozzie will dig in.
Langford has a 12-game hitting streak. He has to come up with another aspect. He needs to score a run to run that streak to 12.
Ozzie digs in. He has struggled hitting under 200, but last night hit the ball hard 3 times, and it really encouraged Joe Torre. He thinks that Ozzie Smith is on the verge right now of breaking out of that slump.
Well, I think so too. You know, and he had some good at bats in Houston where they came up with some good plays. Ozzie's been around a long time. He's not one to panic.
Check on Langford. What a difference when you have anybody else on the mound than Armando Reynoso. Last night he picked a man off first and kept the Cardinal runners totally at bay all evening long.
You can see right now that Galarraga is talking to third base umpire, and there's something there that is shining in his eyes, whether it's his glasses, maybe his glasses, you know, because he's looking with the runner at first base. He's looking right into, I guess, Wally Bell's glasses, and with the 5:35 start out here, much different shadows than you normally would get. See, there you see, maybe he's telling him get either in completely in the sun or don't be there halfway.
All right, back to action. A 1-0 count on Ozzie, and another check on Langford. Ray has stolen 4 bases, been caught 2 times. Cardinals would like to get on top again tonight and remind the Rockies that they're here to play baseball. Last night it was all Colorado 10-1. And again Ozzie shows bunt, the wild pitch, and Langford down to second. So now Ozzie will try to knock in Langford and give the Cardinals a first inning lead, and Harris unleashes a wild pitch, his second of the year.
See this breaking ball? He just throws the fastball right down there, and Girardi, very good defensive catcher, but he had weak technique in trying to block that ball. Had to go off him instead of keeping it in front of him.
Ozzie getting the man over to third, and maybe a base hit. Good play by Charlie Hayes from third. Langford over to third with one out. Ozzie lays down the bunt, and he gets Langford over to third base. And if you're Ozzie and you're struggling, that's a great attempt, and he almost got a hit out of it.
Well, Ozzie knows what he's doing there. You know, he is an ideal #2 guy, knows how to give himself up, and not a selfish ball player, and gets the job done. And not only did he get the job of getting Langford to second base, but he got him over to third for Jeffries.
And Greg hammering at that high pitch, strike one. Jeffries last night stepped to the plate in the 9th inning. Drilled one up the middle. It was stopped by Walt Weiss, but then Walt threw errantly to first, keeping Jeffries' hitting streak alive at 16 games.
You know what is scary is Greg Jeffries last year was third in the National League in batting title at .342. He hit .244 against the Rockies. If he would have done what the league does against him, he would have been maybe won the batting championship.
There's the lead for the Cardinals, and Jeffries plugs the gap. Extra bases for Greg, and he'll pull up with a double. A terrible throw by the right fielder Bichette, but Jeffries can only stick at second base. The Cardinals lead 1-0 as Langford scores here in the first inning.
Greg Jeffries extends his hitting streak to 17 games. That equals Stan Javier's streak in the National League, or in baseball. There you see Langford. His first steps were going back because he knew he was going to score if the ball was caught. And the ball gets by here, and Dante Bichette just throws the ball, and it's really more guided towards first baseman. He, as the second baseman, has to go well out into right field. So Jeffries has a 17-game hitting streak. His career high is 18. 17 is tops in the National League, equals the Major League high of 1994. And Ray Langford now has 11-game hitting streak, and scored 11 straight games. He's scored at least a run.
Okay, do you have cliff notes to that? My goodness, just an encyclopedia. A ton of information thrown out there.
I'm sorry, it's 12 games.
Okay, 1-1 to Zeal, and Hayes will take care of that. Todd Zeal has really struggled in his career against Greg Harris, and he had him reaching for that breaking ball, and Jeffries has to stay at second.
Greg Harris in his last start got into some trouble in the first couple innings. Then he retired 16 straight batters before he tired in the 8th inning. Normally he will pace himself and go well into a ball game beyond 7 frames.
Here's Bernard Gilkey trying to get out of a slump, hitting .282. Got off to a great start, but he's tapered off, and he has a chance for a 2-out RBI. Jeffries at second, 2 out, 1-0 Cardinals, first inning. And the Rockies trying to keep Jeffries close at second. Bernard Gilkey has knocked in 9 runs, hit 1 home run, which came at San Francisco. On Gilkey with Mabry next.
Talking with Chris Chambliss before the game, he just felt that the lineup really misses the presence of Mark Whitten. Mark will be back over the weekend at the latest, possibly as early as Friday. But he puts a real threat in there.
A high strike to Gilkey. It's 2-1. Yeah, the Cardinals will not only get Witten back in the upcoming homestand, but Pagnazzi as early as tomorrow, and it will be great to see number 19 back in the lineup. Runner at second, 2 out, 2-1 to Gilkey.
Breaking ball from Harris. That's his trademark. He'll throw a slider and a changeup, but it's the curveball that is his big pitch.
One man in, a runner at second, 2 out, and a 2-2 count on Gilkey. Just missed, ball 3. Catcher Girardi tried to hold that pitch and frame it in the strike zone, but Joe West wouldn't buy it.
How far away Joe West is from the catcher.
In a vulnerable spot back there. 3-2 pitch. And Gilkey just does stay alive as Girardi can't hang on. Greg Harris last year with the Padres pitched rather well, 10-9, but with Colorado 1-8. After being traded here in July for mainly Brad Ausmus, going to San Diego, the catcher. Harris came over with Bruce Hurst. Another chance for Charlie Hayes. And the Cardinals get a run. 1 run on 2 hits. No errors, 1 left. Greg Jeffries with a 16-game inning streak, now 17, and the Cardinals lead 1-0.
I finally made it to the big leagues. And my first game, we get the call. And I'm thinking, how lucky can a guy get?
Beechwood aged for that fresh, distinctive taste. Crisp, clean, classic.
Would you play golf with this broken club? It could make you a better golfer than you ever dreamt possible.
Hi, I'm Al Geiberger, and I found an amazing golf club that can help you hit them longer and straighter. It's called the Medicus.
This unique hinged club monitors and grooves your entire swing. Come back too fast or use the wrong angle, and the Medicus breaks down to let you know it. Swing correctly, and it works just like an ordinary club. Use it in your backyard, take it to the driving range, even use it on the golf course. Medicus forces your club head into the right position.
It'll take strokes off of your game, and I promise you it'll improve your swing and you'll hit it further.
Medicus is yours for 3 easy payments of only $33. And if you call now, we'll send you this Medicus instructional video free. It's guaranteed to work for you, so order your Medicus today.
To order Medicus, call 1-800-253-8665 for only 3 easy payments of $33 plus $7.50 shipping and handling. Call 1-800-253-8665.
Back in Denver, bottom of the first inning, 1-0 St. Louis, and we'll take a peek at Don Baylor's lineup, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It is just plain smart. Walt Weiss will lead off, then Howard Johnson bats second, Dante Bichette hits third, Galarraga the cleanup man, Ellis Burks, Charlie Hayes, Joe Girardi, Roberto Mejia the 8th place hitter, and Greg Harris bats ninth. The defense, Gilkey, Langford, Mabry in the outfield, Zeal, Ozzie, Pena, Jeffries on the infield. Terry McGriff is catching Rene Orocha, a record of 1-2.
They say Big Rene. He had one stolen from him with a 2-run home run in the 8th inning his last time out, but he pitched very well in that ball game. Still walks very few.
That comes into play and is a big part of an arsenal in this kind of a ballpark.
Yeah, you can't walk anybody because they're going to get their hits. This is a very good hitting team, and Walt Weiss, not your ideal #1 guy, but he has been getting on base.
A 1-1 count on Weiss with Johnson and Bichette to follow. And that's what Walt has done in the leadoff spot. Don Baylor trying him there. Throughout his career, he's been an 8th place hitter.
Kind of won by default, Joe. I guess the only other guy that you could kind of maybe put in the leadoff, doesn't act like a leadoff hitter, is Ellis Burks.
That's right.
the National League Player of the Month.
2-2 on Weiss. Well, Weiss, of course, made his name with the Oakland A's, but last year had a very strong season at short for the Florida Marlins. Signed on with the Rockies. Trying to shore up the defense here at Mile High. 2-2 pitch. Easy for Arocha, and the leadoff man gone. 1 out.
So they talk about Ellis Burks and Walt Weiss really have shorn up the defense. That's one thing that Arocha usually needs behind him, is guys to play well. Guys like Arocha and Tewksbury that walk very few, the infielders usually make very good plays because they're on their toes.
Howard Johnson digs in, hitting only 189. He's hit a couple of home runs. Last night, Hojo 2 out of 5 with an RBI. Bases empty, 1 out, 1-0 Cardinals, bottom of the first inning.
Howard's starting to come alive a little bit. Got off to a terrible start, but he had a leg injury out of spring training.
Happy to be out of New York, that's for sure. That's well foul, strike 1.
Well, that's one of the interesting things about Howard Johnson here is he is a definite fly ball hitter. And when you hit fly balls here, a lot of them are going to be home runs. Due to injuries, he's not the 30-30 man of a few years ago, but he could rebound much like a Galarraga and have a big year.
Mentioned the slow start. He started out 1 for 22. His last 10, though, he's hitting 290. In the air to center, Langford there. And Arocha has taken care of the first 2. So a good start for Rene Arocha, and we go down to the number 3 hitter, Dante Bichette. Boy, Dante Bichette, what I heard of him in the American League when he was first around and playing with the Brewers, great defensive outfielder, very good arm, doesn't hit much. Comes to the National League, and look at those numbers, 343, 10 home runs, and he had a great year last year.
I think they always knew he had power potential, but he brought him over here. Don Baylor's played with several of these guys. He knew something about Dante, and it's been a nice marriage.
The big 3 last night in the middle, Burks, Bichette, Galarraga, 6 for 11. A couple of home runs, a triple, 3 doubles, 6 runs, 3 ribbies.
And they've been doing that every night.
Yeah, another day at the office for those 3.
Saw that last pitch was good running fastball, tailing fastball into Dante, and that's where you can get him out, up and in. They're going to try and go away.
And a base hit with 2 out up the middle. Bichette pokes it through the middle, and that'll keep the inning going for Galarraga.
See, ball up, out, away from him, and the way he strides out there, he usually likes to get the ball away from him. Most hitters will tell you they like to get their arms extended. That's why I like to pitch guys inside, but if you miss inside, you asking for trouble with the strength and the power that these guys have.
Here's another one that's strong and powerful. Andres Galarraga hitting .309 with 9 home runs. How about the middle 3 in this lineup production-wise? 29 home runs already. Bichette with 10, Galarraga 9, Burks with 10.
Now they want to have, they've already hit 41 home runs as a team. Galarraga is saying, I'd love to win another batting championship. I'd love to flirt with 400, but I know I'm better for the ball club if I drive in runs. So he's hitting about 100 points lower for Don Baylor, but he has more home runs and more RBIs than a year ago.
Now he's ahead on the count 2-0, and it gets more and more dangerous as you fall behind Galarraga. Don Baylor last night was upset. His team made a number of mistakes early, but Armando Reynoso more than made up for that. He was awesome last night.
And Don knows that, if you continue to make those mistakes, you can't play with the big boys. But if they got the pitching that they got last night, and then the Thunder with their bats, you can win games 10-1.
And they made a couple of base running mistakes and left 11 men on, and still scored 10. Back-to-back hits for Bichette and Galarraga. 2 on, 2 out.
Almost a haircut for Rene. Well, we showed those 3. They've been doing it last night, every night. And how about the fact that, you know, the Rockies have only been in the National League for 7 months, and they've had 3 National League Players of the Month. Galarraga's won the award twice, and there's that ball out away from him, and he gets those arms extended, takes it right back from where it came from. And you look at the newest National League Player of the Month. He's at the plate right now, his first. Burks has got 1 here, and look at what he's got today.
Look at those numbers. What a start for Ellis Burks, his first year in the National League. Talked about the players and pitchers of the month. Tewksbury for the Cardinals, 5-0 in the month of April. Burks 4-13 with 9 bombs for the Rockies.
Not bad. And Tewksbury's already 1-0 in the month of May, and Ellis Burks has added
yeah, his average
16
is up
points.
16 points.
16 hundredths.
2 on, 2 out, and Burks has a 2-1 count. Long first inning for Arocha. It started quickly. Weiss bounced back to the pitcher. Johnson popped into center, but hit up the middle by Bichette, followed by another by Galarraga. And now a 2-1 count on Burks, and the Cardinal 1-run lead is in jeopardy. This crowd is a fun crowd, isn't it? They're hanging on every pitch here at Mile High, and after that swing you hear a big ooh. You hear a lot of oohs and ahs here in Denver.
Well, every time these big 3 swing at any pitcher's pitch, they're accustomed to seeing it fly out of the ballpark or something positive happen.
There are your runners. 2 on, 2 out, and a 2-2 count on Ellis Burks. To the left side, Ozzie will try to throw across the body. Too late, and the bases are loaded. I thought he might try for the force out at third, but instead he tried to throw across the diamond, and he couldn't get it there in time. An infield hit for Burks.
Now we forgot to tell you, there's where you're saying his momentum was going to third. He might have had the slow-footed Bichette and a chance to throw him out, but when he tried to make the long one, and Ellis Burks, there is another dimension to him. He can run.
Now the base is loaded. 2 out, 3 straight singles by Bichette, Galarraga, Burks. Here's Charlie Hayes. Good pitch, strike 1. Still no damage done. The Cardinals leading 1-0, but the Rockies definitely threatening to tie or take the lead. Arocha with a 1-1 count on Charlie Hayes, who hit a 3-run home run here last night. Right at Ozzie. There's a break, and the Rockies strand 3. No runs, 3 hits, no errors, 3 left, and after 1 on an RBI by Greg Jeffries, the Cardinals lead the Rockies 1-0.
If it's time to do a little groundbreaking, don't go at it the old-fashioned way. Tear through it with a garden claw from Garden Weasel.
At the beginning of each season, your ground could look like this.
Just to get it ready for planting used to take hours of back-breaking labor.
The garden claw can tear through hardpack. Just position it like this, and you'll be ready to cultivate, loosen, aerate, and weed.
The hardened steel tines rip through tough soil with just a twist of the comfort grip handles, even in heavy clay.
And you can use the garden claw to cultivate around shrubs, bushes, and other hard-to-reach places. It uniformly blends fertilizer, peat moss, and it's a great mixer for your compost heap, too. It comes with a 100% lifetime guarantee. Now, you can't beat that.
So if you've got a tough job ahead of you, tear through it the easy way with the garden claw from Garden Weasel.
It can tame your yard and get your garden ready in no time.
The Garden Claw is available at Kmart, Walgreens, Sears, and participating True Value, Ace, HWI, and Service Star. Makes a great gift for Dad.
Never thought about transmission wear? Time to shift mental gears. Try one of these special treatments from Slick 50, the Transmission Wear Protector.
In a life-threatening emergency, you should know what to do. Say a loved one exhibits unusual symptoms. The first thing to do... Clear! No. The first thing to do is pick up the phone and dial your local emergency number.
Call 911 first.
Right. To learn more about life-saving techniques, contact your Red Cross.
Into the second inning in Colorado. The Rockies threatened, did not score, and Greg Harris gave up a first inning run. Back to work. Mabry, Pena, McGriff coming up. Greg Harris allowed 1 run on 2 hits in the first inning. And the rookie Mabry, who is finding his name on that lineup card quite a bit now, steps in batting .316. Out in front, 1-1.
Well, Joe, I think you're finding Mayberry's getting an opportunity to play a little bit here because Brian Jordan is going to have his shoulder examined. It's been giving him a little bit of trouble, and so it's out of necessity. But he's a fine addition to put in the lineup.
One and 2 on Mabry, leading off second inning. And a good piece of hitting to foul off a pitch. He was fooled on it, but able to get the bat on the ball. Good attitude by Mabry. He doesn't appear to be overmatched or scared in any bit, in any fashion. Made a great defensive play last night. Fastball, little inside, 2-2. Mabry was not looking for that. John leading off, and now has a full count, 3-2.
Sometimes you like to see in a situation like this what Harris will throw. What does he feel is his out pitch?
He walked him a little high, a leadoff walk. We also asked Chris Chambliss before the game about Greg Harris, whether he is the same pitcher that we saw last year at the beginning with San Diego. Here's Chris.
Yeah, I think it is, and he's got a real good curveball and a fastball, sort of like a little sinker sometimes, sink fastball, and he's got a big curve. So we'll want our hitters to be patient with him. Anybody that has a good curveball, even though you know he's got it, you don't want to try to hit it. You try to look for something that's in their zone, fastball, and try not to let him get ahead of you with that curve.
The force out after that. And Mabry forced out at second. Pena aboard. That scouting report brought to you by your neighborhood Chrysler Plymouth dealers, where real advantages make a real difference. A nice play by Weiss. Look at this hard slide by Mabry. No chance they're going to turn 2.
And he went right after the second baseman, and that's what you like to see. Walt Weiss has really solidified not only shortstop, but he's helped out Mejia at second base and Charlie Hayes at third.
Tends to have that rippling effect around the infield. They have the good first baseman, one of the best in Galarraga, and a good catcher in Girardi. There's a strike to McGriff.
They say Ellis Burks has really helped things out in center field. Well, they have the strength up the middle now.
Howard Johnson playing left field these days for Colorado after mainly playing in the big leagues as a third baseman. Pena at first, and he draws a throw. Geronimo has stolen 1 base this season. He's aboard with 1 out for Terry McGriff, hitting .276. And a double play ball. 4-6 and on to 3, and that'll do it for the Cardinals in the second as McGriff bounces from Mejia to Weiss to Galarraga. An inning and a half complete, 1-0 St. Louis.
Flying to Chicago Midway for business? If these 14 reasons don't convince you to fly Southwest Airlines to convenient Chicago Midway, maybe this will. Fly Southwest Airlines. The most flights at the lowest unrestricted fares. It's just plain smart.
Hi, I'm Rick Mahar for your Midwest GMC truck dealers, and this is what I drive, a GMC Jimmy. With V6 power, anti-lock brakes, and push-button four-wheel drive, Jimmy can handle any situation. And with all its strength, quality, and comfort, it's your best sport utility value. And there's hundreds to choose from. So see the 94 Jimmy today at Belmont GMC in Northwest County, Bomarito GMC in Ellisville, or Brockland GMC in Fairmount City, Illinois. Your Midwest GMC truck dealers.
Simultaneously, a car is designed in Los Angeles, simulation tested in Austin, estimated in New York, and consumer researched in San Diego. All because a fiber the size of a human hair carries as much data as all radio frequencies put together, times 1,000.
Everybody's talking baseball. From today's stars to yesterday's heroes to the game's movers and shakers. Upper Deck presents Ed Randall's Talking Baseball on PSN.
Cardinals leading 1-0, bottom of the second inning. This will be the last year for baseball at Mile High, and give you the best shot we can of the new ballpark, which is being constructed in that Camden Yards fashion, that old-time look. That'll be the ballpark here in Colorado. Jeffries watches strike one sail into the seats. We were driving by it on the way from the airport to the hotel, and Bob Tewksbury broke into a cold sweat. He was asking if they were going to have regular ballpark dimensions or if they were going to make the outfield a little bigger because of the way the ball carries here in Denver. He was hoping the latter.
It is a little bigger, but not that much.
I would think if they just have more symmetrical dimensions. Left field here is far too close. That alone, pushing that back, will make a big difference at the new ballpark. 1-1 to Girardi, chases him away. Mile High Stadium down the line 333, and in the alley only 366. And in this altitude, that is nada. 3-1 on Girardi, leading off the second inning. Full count. The powers that be really did themselves a favor, Al, when they chose Denver and Miami as expansion sites. The success stories of the two franchises is terrific.
Yeah, Joe, Major League Baseball has always wondered and questioned how much they would draw here.
Yet another hit for the Rockies, their fourth already of the night, and the leadoff man is on for Colorado.
I always kind of felt that the Rocky Mountains would stop the flow of people coming to the ballpark. You know, their second largest season ticket area is, I can't remember if it's Colorado Grand Junction, which is on the other side of the mountain range. They got to go 4 hours. That's where their largest second, you know, from the metropolitan area, they have the best season ticket base from there.
That's an effort, very much like we have in St. Louis with the folks that travel from around the Midwest to get to the ballpark. Mejia had a big night last night, hit a 400-foot home run into left. Leadoff man on, and Mejia strike two. Boy, he takes a cut like very few other eighth-place hitters. Maybe the only other one he could compare him to would be Cedeno with Houston. Otherwise, the number 8 hitters are up there punching it around. He's not a big guy, but he takes a big swing. 0-2.
So here are the dimensions of the new asymmetrical ballpark. It'll be 347 down the left field line, 350 to the right field corner, and 415 to straightaway center. There will be a matrix and color replay boards in left field and a hand operated out of town scoreboard in the right field fence.
1-2 on Mejia. 2-2. Arocha struggling a little bit with his control, not being able to hit spots.
The stadium is being designed by HOK Sports out of Kansas City, Missouri, the same designers of the new Kaminsky Park in Chicago and the highly acclaimed Oriole Park at Camden Yards in Baltimore.
2-2 to Mejia. And he'll stay alive. This Mejia is a good little player.
I like him. I mean, he can swing hard. He's from the Dominican Republic. He's been rushed to the big leagues, and they hope that if he hits 240, 250, he will mature into a very good hitter. But the ball just jumps off his bat. Predominantly a fastball hitter.
And the count is full from 0-2 to 3-2 with a pitcher on deck. Rocha not helping himself very much with his control here tonight. Only 22 years old is Roberto Mejia. Drafted from the Dodgers. Runner goes, and Mejia fouls another one away. Could get the old strike him out, throw him out if Rocha can get one by Mejia. The slow-footed Girardi running on the 3-2 pitch off first. He's going again, and Mejia, ooh, what a play. They do not get the man at second, but out at first. Good effort, and Zeal coming up with that play. That was a shot, and they almost, even though the Rockies started the runner, turned two.
Todd, he did get a rocket down there, the hot corner. The runner going here, Girardi, and as they complete the play, they're safe at second base. Girardi, the starting the runners going, but they get the batter at first. Zeal had plenty of time to even going 5-4-3 to get him out at first base because it was hit so hard.
Now the pitcher Greg Harris, who is a lifetime 107 hitter, 2 out of 12 this season, hitting 167.
I just don't understand where this guy, how he got to such high salary. If I'm not mistaken, he's making like $3 million a year. His major league totals, including this year, is 43 and 48, and he has 15 career saves.
Couldn't hold up 1-2.
Last year was the most wins he's ever had. He had combined between San Diego and Colorado. He had 11 wins and 17 losses. Prior to that, the most wins he had was in '91. He was 9-5.
1-2, runner at second, one out, and a hit to right. Unbelievable. That ties the game, and Harris has an RBI double. Girardi scores, and it's 1-1. He almost threw the bat at the ball. And on a 1-2 pitch, wait till you see this swing.
Look how far they're set up away, but see that ball came back over the middle a little bit. But you're right, wasn't a pretty swing, but very effective. That is Harris's third hit, and it's his first RBI of the year. Ties and score 1-1.
Now Walt Weiss could give the Rockies a lead, and the Rockies are having no problems with Rene Arocha so far. They already have 5 hits. One of the outs, a ripped shot to third here in this inning.
They are very comfortable hitting here at Mile High Stadium. Their averages reflect that from a year ago.
Pena got a late break, will not get an out, and it's first and third, one out. Pena almost fell over with his first step to that ball, and because of that, Weiss gets an infield hit. That should have been an out.
See Greg Jeffries here. He starts to go there. It's a second base ball, but Pena, as you mentioned, got a very late break. He does save a run by just stopping it, keeping it in the infield. Can't get the out at first base, but Harris wasn't able to score. He goes to third.
So it's first and third, one out, tie game for Howard Johnson. He popped to center his first time up. And a check on Weiss. Rockies trying to take a second inning lead. And Arocha not off to a good start here tonight in Denver. Strike one to Howard Johnson. 3 hits in this inning, 3 hits in the first inning. A 1-1 game, but first and third, 1 out. As Arocha is in trouble here in the second.
Once again, Joe, the bottom part of the order, an area where pitchers should dominate. It was troublesome last night, and here it's hurting Rene in the second.
Popped up into center. We might have a play at the plate. Langford will make the grab. Here comes Harris. The throw. Langford can't get him as McGriff missed it. Harris scores on the sac fly to center. A perfect throw, and McGriff pulled the glove down too soon. What a throw by Langford.
You're right. They had him out easy. It's a high fly ball. The runner is the pitcher. Now, he's a pretty good athlete and got decent speed. He comes in here, and the throw had him beat easily. But it took a unusual bounce, a high bounce, considering that this is a grass field. Strong, accurate throw by Langford right there, and it bounces right over the glove. Terry was hearing footsteps.
2-1 Colorado. By the way, that RBI double by Harris in this second inning is the 3rd hit that Arocha has given up to the opposing pitcher this season. Bichette singled up the middle his first time. Now the Rockies have the lead. Arocha, the defense on that last play let him down. He almost got out of it with a tie game. 3-0 with Galarraga next.
Torrey doesn't like to manage here. Says he would love to have been a hitter in this ballpark, but watching his pitching staff has been painful.
On 3-0, Bichette fouls it away. Bichette's not thinking about any walk. He wanted to get the hit.
See, a bad breaking ball. Dropped his elbow and it just squirted out, hanger, but it was just bad enough that he fouled it back.
Full count on Bichette. You know, it's getting now with Arocha, Al, into a bad rhythm of a good outing, a poor outing, a good outing, a poor outing. Sometimes back-to-back poor outings, and that is not what the Cardinals can afford with their thin starting pitching as it is.
They started out 5-0 a year ago, and then this batter broke his thumb with a line drive up the middle. And ever since that, Joe, you take away that good 5-hit shutout that he had against San Diego, he hasn't done much as a starter.
3-2 to Bichette, runner at second, 2 out. Adam reaching, and that should end the inning. Mabry puts it away. The Rockies grab the lead. 2 runs on 3 hits. 1 left. They've left 4. But after 2, it's Colorado 2, St. Louis 1.
It's a round world, genuine and true. It keeps on spinning and you always come through. And you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your bud.
It's tough being a fan when your team isn't the home team, especially when I try to find coverage of my favorite team in the local paper. I'm lucky if I can find last week's score. But if you're like me, you'll be happy to know there's one publication that'll make you feel right at home. The Sporting News. You'll love the Sporting News no matter what team you love, even if it is the home team.
Call this number now and get 4 issues of the Sporting News free. You'll get opinions and analysis, team-by-team reports, and coverage of all the college conferences, plus baseball, basketball, and hockey all year long. Call now and you'll get 4 free issues of the Sporting News. If you like them, you'll get 24 more issues at this great TV price. If not, just mark the bill, cancel, and owe nothing. The 4 issues are yours to keep.
So call now for the Sporting News, the publication that treats every team like the home team.
Call now and you'll get 4 great issues of the Sporting News free.
Call 1-800-253-8665.
The Cardinals now trail Colorado 2-1 after 2, and time now for our out-of-town scoreboard. As you look around, Chicago has finally won at home. They defeated Cincinnati behind Traxel 5-2. Montreal behind Reader, who's 2-0, defeats Los Angeles 5-4. New York wins over San Francisco 7-4. Pittsburgh leading Houston early on. Florida and Atlanta just getting underway. San Diego and Philadelphia postponed due to rain. The out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by your Midwest GMC dealers, Bellman, Bomarito, and Brooklyn GMC. Rocha leading off, and quickly 0-2, and that was an interesting swing.
Throw a curveball, and you wouldn't even want to throw him a fastball, would you? After seeing those 2 swings of breaking ball.
Rocha ought to run.
Yeah, he should have swung at it.
The count 1-2 on Rene.
Feel it, Joe.
Joe Girardi with 2 strikes has to chase that ball down. I'm not so sure Rocha didn't offer it that pitch anyway. But he has a 1-2 count with Langford and Ozzie waiting to bat next. And a foul tip. Rocha stays alive. Rene 0 for 5 this season at the plate. Greg Harris looking for his first strikeout. And he thinks he might have a victim in Rene Rocha. Two balls, 2 strikes.
Well, now he might get himself a fastball. Not that he might not be able to do anything.
There's the first strikeout of the evening for Greg Harris. On Friday, May 6th, coming up, the Cardinals play the Mets. It's Busch Light Mug Night at the ballpark. The first 35,000 fans, 21 and over with a paid admission, receive the latest in the series of thermal beer mugs featuring the new Central Division logo, courtesy of Busch Light Beer. That's coming up on Friday night, May 6th. The Cardinals and the Mets at 7:05. In steps Ray Langford, who singled and scored his first time. Drags a bunt. Good effort. Harris got it. 2 out. Good play by Harris. He got off the mound in a hurry.
He did. Not a bad opportunity or tried by Langford. Harris mentioned he do a lot of little things too. Gets breaking ball. He catches it. But he bounces off the mound and he makes a nice throw. Didn't waste any time at all there, Joe.
And Harris is taking care of the first 2 and deals with Ozzie Smith, who dropped down a bunt his first time up, getting Langford over to third. One and 1 to Ozzie. Jeffries waiting. It's up to Ozzie whether he'll bat here in the 3rd or in the 4th. Harris trying to have a perfect inning. Into left center field. Well hit. Johnson came in, but able to get back and make the grab. Howard Johnson took the roundabout way, but made the catch, and the Cardinals go in order in the top of the 3rd. Bottom half rolls around. Galarraga, Burks, and Hayes coming up. 2-1 Rockies.
Here's to you.
I see it all out here.
Whoa, check out the Ranger.
Climbers get in trouble. Sometimes they need help. Hey, it can happen to anyone.
Are you okay? You'll have to swing over to me.
Budweiser. Crisp, clean, classic.
classic.
Proud to be your buddy. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. Stay with the play. Get up.
Hey fans, here's a great chance to stay ice cold on a hot summer night. Come down to Busch Stadium on Friday, June 3rd to watch the Redbirds battle the San Francisco Giants. And all fans 21 and over with a paid admission will receive a can cooler courtesy of Iced Draft from Budweiser. Remember, that's Iced Draft from Budweiser can cooler night, Friday, June 3rd at the ballpark.
What is Crave Man? Crave Man's a hunter. Sometimes he carries a club. Sometimes he travels in packs or in roving bands. Crave Man's a meat eater, a builder. Crave Man craves the one-of-a-kind steam grill taste of White Castle. Hey, maybe you know him. Heck, maybe you are him. Or her. White Castle, what you crave.
Bottom of the third inning, Rene Arocha back to work. He'll try to get along a little better. 2-1 Colorado out in front. And the heart of the order coming up, Galarraga, Burks, and Charlie Hayes. Galarraga steps in. He singled his first time, and his average up to .316. Infield, outfield, deep, and straight away for the big cat. And his center, Langford on the move and makes the grab. The ball just hangs up. This time it costs the Rockies a hit. Every week, all the Major League news can be found on Brute Presents Pennant Chase. Highlights of the week's games, previews of what's upcoming, and features on your favorite players. Watch Brute Presents Pennant Chase Thursdays at 6 o'clock Central Time, only on PSN. Here's Ellis Burks. He singled his first time. He's hitting .435. Strike one. May 4th, and Burks hitting .435. He's got the opposition now marveling at what he does. Here the Cardinal players talking in the locker room about Ellis Burks and the start he's off to. 0-2 on Burks with Charlie Hayes on deck. Don Baylor, if he can get the pitching, any pitching, he's got a shot in this National League West, believe it or not, in only their second year of existence. 0-2 to Ellis Burks. Good pitch.
Well, you look at Ellis Burks and look what he has done in the National League. His first month in the National League, he's the leader in batting average, hits, total bases, on base percentage, slugging percentage, extra base hits, and Player of the Month awards for '94.
Yeah, so much for that grace time for a player trying to learn the other league. No problems for Burks so far. Now the 2-2 from Arocha. Got it. First strikeout for Rene. And Arocha 2/3 of the way to a perfect inning, which would be his first of the night. He gets Burks for the second out. Great crowd on hand here at Mile High Stadium. Beautiful day. This is a neat city if you've never been here. You ought to treat yourself. A great downtown area. A lot of people walking around, a lot of action.
Come back after the All-Star break. This is an ideal day today. Beautiful weather, but in the middle of July, it'll be spectacular here.
0-1 on Charlie Hayes. 2 out, nobody on. A 1-1 count to Charlie, who with the bases loaded in the first inning bounced into a force out. The Rockies left 3. A lot of these hitters out in front now of Arocha, 1 and 2.
It looks like he's starting to change speeds a little bit. Maybe he's found his release point. And oftentimes it does take a pitcher a little bit of time, but against this potent offense, maybe not be able to stay in.
Langford had him played perfectly, but Hayes gets it by him and to the wall. Extra bases for Charlie. He's going to try for 3. Pena's throw too late. 2 out triple for Charlie Hayes.
Joe, as soon as I tell you that it looks like Arocha's found his release point and making some good pitches, you're going to see a hanging breaking ball. or should I say Charlie Hayes saw a hanging breaking ball, and we saw he can hit that. Mabry throws the ball into Pena. He lets go of it. Zio does a good job to come up and catch the short hop. Keep it. Charlie going around the bases here. Almost stumbled there. Looking for the oxygen here, and Zimmer tell him to get down.
Now Girardi 2 out and ball 1 inside. Joe singled his first time and scored, and a hit here would give the Rockies a 2-run lead. 2-1 Colorado. Ozzie from short. Can he make the play? Great effort by Ozzie, and that'll end the inning. No runs, 1 hit. A 2-out triple is wasted, and the Rockies have left 5 already. After 3 innings, Mike Shannon will join you. 2-1 Colorado.
Southwest Airlines to Baltimore, Washington International. Just plain smart.
Hi, I'm Rick Mahar of your Midwest GMC truck dealers, and this is the 94 GMC Sonoma. All new bumper to bumper. Sonoma is the strongest, best looking, and most comfortable pickup on the road today. Choose from regular cabs or extended cabs with rear seating. And with its powerful V6 and available 4-wheel drive, it's your best value too. So see the all-new 94 Sonoma today at Belmont GMC in Northwest County, Bomarito GMC in Ellisville, or Brockland GMC in Fairmount City, Illinois. Your Midwest GMC truck dealers.
It's a test of nerves, a play for perfection. The right combination can make you #1. Game, set, match. Prime Tennis spotlights clay. Some take it in stride. Others are just mystified. Todd Martin and Mal Washington lead the field at the USTA Clay Court Classic. Game, set, match. Coverage begins Saturday morning at 10 Mountain, live on PSN.
We're here at Mile High Stadium where the Rockies lead the Cardinals 2-1. And it will be, well, let's take a look at that last play. Ozzie charges in to his right, throws, and just barely gets it over there, just in time. The Cardinal shortstop doesn't have that arm that he used to have, does he, Mr. Robo?
No, he doesn't, Mike, and plays, you know, he's done things at shortstop that no one else has been able to do, but he plays right now without that strong throwing arm. He plays in an area that a lot of shortstops say they shouldn't do.
Well, he got out of that one, and as we go into the Cardinal fourth, it's Greg Jeffries. Jeffries continued his hitting streak with a double his first time up, but he grounds to the second baseman, and quickly they're 1 out here in the fourth. We'd like to remind you that this program is authorized under television rights granted by the St. Louis National Baseball Club Incorporated, solely for the entertainment of our audience, and any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, description, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the St. Louis National Baseball Club Incorporated is prohibited. Greg Harris has beaten the Cardinals 4 straight, going back to 1991. Good curveball pitcher. Zio gets it by him. What a great play by Weiss, and he throws him out. Unbelievable play by Weiss, and an unbelievable play on the other side by Galarraga, and they'll get an argument about this one as Torrey races out. That was some play. Weiss was way into the outfield. He was a good 2 steps back there, leaped in the air, and still got it over in time. What a play.
Look at right there on the line. Now, it was unbelievable the way Galarraga tried to get out, reach out, stretch out, and catch that ball and also stay on first base. That's what the argument is. But showing great range, and look at the arm strength to get up and get the throw over there. Now, Galarraga, the only question is, did his toe stay on the bag or not? You see maybe a little better from this angle here.
He's on the base,
on the bag.
But did the throw beat him? And Frank Pulley says, what do you want me to do, man? The ball beat him. He had his toe on the base, and so he sends Mr. Torrey back to the dugout. That was a great play on both ends. I mean, outstanding.
And now we'll give the umpires. But
well, you could wait till they get in trouble before you want to give them.
Well, the guys in the truck always like you to know who you want to blame. But I think he was out.
I do too. I thought it was a fantastic play on both ends. Just unbelievable by Weiss. And then the big cat, he can move around over there. Here's the guy we need to get going, Bernard Gilkey. He's 3 out of his last 30. And his average has dropped down to 282 at the start of the evening. He's too good a hitter to stay where he is, though, and he'll be back in action like we'll be back in action tomorrow night at Busch Stadium as the Mets come to town. 4 with New York and then 4 with those Cubs. They're on a hot streak. This will be foul into the corner down in left field. Cubs are hot, aren't they, Al?
Yeah, they're playing pretty good ball, and we'll have to cool them off. You know, they got Jeff Kent and, you know, Randy Hundley's son, Todd. Randy was telling me in spring training, he said, hey, anybody need a backup catcher or need a catcher? Hundley's available. He's hitting 350 and got 7 home runs.
He's the first string catcher now. That's who will be there tomorrow night, the New York Mets, and they'll have Saberhagen, who's 3-1. Looks like he's back. Yeah, they still have some good pitching over there in New York, though. Don't count them out if that's Saberhagen and Doc couldn't get it going. Here's Gilkey with a shot into right field. And that'll help the average, a 2-out single.
Saberhagen was actually supposed to pitch today, and they switched him. They pitched to left-hander Hillman, who was a sinker baller. Dallas Green wanted him pitching on the grass. You know, we used the power pitcher Saberhagen in St. Louis.
That's what those managers lose their sleep over. One of the things they do. There are numerous.
He could lose it having to play games here.
You know, this crew we have out here in Denver, Colorado, Mile High Stadium, they're pretty good for novice, aren't they? Did you see that replay? They had it both ends. Might have to take this crew home with us. Nice going, gentlemen. Great pictures from Mile High. Gilkey, let's see if he wants to run. No, as Mabry, the rookie, has at home plate. Yeah, that replay was almost as good as the ones we get at home, Al Hrabowski, with our fantastic crew there.
Yeah, the guys at home, they're the best. You know, and it really is interesting because the crews that we have at home, they know the ins and outs, the intricacies of the ballpark.
There goes Gilkey. Mabry lifts it into left. The only thing that'll help now is the sun. Will it bother Johnson? No, as he makes the catch. The Cardinals strand only their second runner. And as we go to the commercial, we'll let you take a look at this, folks. It was great.
It's a round world, genuine and true. It keeps on spinning and you always come through. And you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your. Proud to be your bud.
BSN, our work is your play.
It's tough being a fan when your team isn't the home team, especially when I try to find coverage of my favorite team in the local paper. I'm lucky if I can find last week's score. But if you're like me, you'll be happy to know there's one publication that'll make you feel right at home. The Sporting News. You'll love the Sporting News, no matter what team you love, even if it is the home team.
Call this number now and get 4 issues of the Sporting News free. You'll get opinions and analysis, team-by-team reports, and coverage of all the college conferences, plus baseball, basketball, and hockey all year long. Call now and you'll get 4 free issues of the Sporting News. If you like them, you'll get 24 more issues at this great TV price. If not, just mark the bill, cancel, and owe nothing. The 4 issues are yours to keep.
So call now for the Sporting News, the publication that treats every team like the home team.
Call now and you'll get 4 great issues of the Sporting News free.
Call 1-800-253-8665.
Rene Arocha has allowed 2 runs. They both came in the second. And as we go to the fourth, it'll be the latter two, Mejia and the pitcher. As Zio gets a tough chance, makes a good backhand and a good throw. Zeal has improved at third base over last season immensely, hasn't he, Al Lebowski? And I think one of the big reasons is because he's moved so far in closer to the hitter. I think it makes him much sharper, much quicker. Look at that break as he got the ball off the bat very well, went to his right. Good play.
Well, you know that better than I, but you were explaining to me that just playing in. It's a reactionary position. You don't have time much to think there anyway. So if you're playing in and you just have a tendency, the whole other aspect of his throwing is improved because his leg work, you know, is under control.
And the further you are back, the longer the throw, and the more things that can go wrong. That ball is going to bounce at least one more time, maybe two. And he has improved very much over there this season. Mr. Harris at the plate. He got a base hit, an RBI, as he double homer run in the second inning, then scored himself, and they're up 2-1. Curveball, and Arocha gets him this time. So if you'd like to order tickets, one of the easiest ways to do it is by mail. Simply select the date and the number of tickets you desire. Include a check, money order, Visa or MasterCard number for the ticket amount plus $5 for postage and handling. And mail your order to the St. Louis Cardinals. The post office box is 8787 and the zip code in St. Louis, Missouri is 63102. They'll be filled with the best available seating at the time they are received. And that's what they do, folks. When they get your letter, they'll pick it out of the bin and send it off. Time allows. Yeah, and then when you come to the ballpark, you just walk right on in. We are in the fourth. No one on, 2 out. As the leadoff hitter is Walt Weiss. The strikeout of Harris for Arocha was his second. Seems that Arocha's found his niche now, Al, and he's settled down a bit.
Well, you know, you played behind a lot of guys that the first couple innings, they almost got to wear themselves out before they'll find their release point.
Boy, that's a phrase and a so important part of pitching is relief point. As you see the walk go to Weiss, the leadoff hitter. 2-out walk, and it's the first one. We talked about the slider and how many times guys throw the slider and it hurts their arm. The reason it hurts is because their release point is too far back instead of being out in front of them.
That's right.
Taking the pressure off that arm.
I think the slider does more damage than any other pitch. And it's like any pitch. You throw it correctly, it minimizes the strain it puts on the shoulder and the elbow. But if you throw that improperly, that one really tears you up.
Walt Weiss this season has stolen 4 bases. The leadoff position is relatively new for Weiss, and he's acclimating himself every day to that position. And of course, you know they like you to steal. Weiss has been around a while. He's pilfered 4. Mark Johnson, the guy at the plate, has stolen 5. Johnson can hurt you with the long ball. Had some great years over there in New York, and he's trying to get himself back together after an injury-plagued 1993. This guy gets it back together. He might set all kinds of new numbers here in Colorado's Mile High. 4th inning action. Crowd rather quiet now. 50,000 plus again here tonight. They set an all-time attendance record last season. 4 million. Almost 4.5 million. 4 plus. Weiss not running as Johnson takes it wide, and Roach is falling behind now 2-0, and that makes this guy double dangerous. Hit 2 home runs. Started the season off something like 1 for 22, but he's slowly but surely getting his feet back on the ground. And if he regains his old form, Al, that'll be just another great bat in this fantastic Rockies lineup. They have a very good offensive team. On the corner, good pitch.
Johnson is down a little bit. Charlie Hayes is not swinging as good as he can. So, I mean, they can scare you in many, many ways.
Let's see if Walt Weiss takes off. 2-1 is the count. 2 out. Colorado leading here in the 4th, 2-1. Arocha thinks he might be trying to steal, so he throws over there, keeping him close.
Howard Johnson started out striking out an awful lot, so he's cut down on the strikeouts in the last 20 plus at bats.
That's bad news for National League pitcher. There goes Weiss. We figured he'd be running, and he's in there safely with the stolen base. So Weiss steals his 5th of the year. More than anything else, what Weiss has done for this ball club is solidify their defense. Now he's adding some offense to it, Al.
Yeah, he's really reaching base when the hitter walks, and I'm not too sure he was safe. I know Ozzie was up in front of the bag and had to go back and tag him. But as it stands, he's out there. There are 2 outs, so if you get the hitter out.
Or he knocks it by your first baseman, they'll get the run. Even with the good throwing arm of Mabry, he can't bring it home. The stolen base pays off. Howard Johnson with his 2nd RBI gives the Rockies another tally. And Colorado, this ball club doing a lot of things properly, Al. Fundamentally, they're playing some good baseball. Tell you what, if they win here tonight, they'll be tied for first place in the West with the mighty San Francisco Giants, who won 103 games last year.
Ball's just a rocket, and by the stolen base, now Walt Weiss can come back and add another insurance run, making it 3-1.
Well, if Weiss was stealing, you have to figure that Howard Johnson has thievery on his mind. At the plate, Bichette, this guy is all over the top 10 statistically, offensively in the National League. He's everywhere.
Now they have 24 stolen bases here, Colorado. So they have a running game to go along with their 41 home runs.
Make it 42, maybe. Yeah, just go ahead and make it. The way that ball carries here. Hit it to the deepest part of the ballpark. 400+ feet away. A 2-run shot. Bichette, who hit one here last night, hits his 11th. And Howard Johnson in front of him. He got that ball up, out over the plate, and wow, did Bichette give it some ride. 50,000 on their feet here. They're having some fun. And now, Rabowski, you have to be very concerned about the Cardinal pitcher.
Well, watch and see where this is. Another hanging breaking ball, and you get a breaking ball up to these guys, and they get their arms extended. Well, it translates into what we just said, the 42nd home run. Let's see the reaction of. He knew that he hit it hard, back up the middle. Howard Johnson knew he could coast.
Cardinal pitching comes in here tonight, rated 12th in the National League, just ahead of the Cubs. Not even with this Colorado ball club.
Colorado's pitching staff ERA is going down. Cardinals is going up.
At the plate now, Galarraga. He's singled and lined very hard into center field.
You know, Mike, one of the things, you know, you look at, everybody said they kind of wondered if the Cardinals had enough pitching. And with the rash of injuries, you know, we had 5 disabling injuries to pitching staff. We forget about Donovan Osborne and Kilgus out for the year.
And then the other guys go down. We'll see how strong this Cardinal pitching is and if they can get it back together. Speaking of getting it back together, Tom Pagnazzi will be back with the ball club. Tough play for Zeal. He makes it again. Oh, throw right there. And that takes care of Colorado, but not before they played 3 more. And as we go to the 5th, Colorado now leads 5-1.
Ever since Southwest Airlines introduced Friends Fly Free, people have gotten friendlier.
Sugar Plum, your favorite pillow.
If you make reservations and buy your round-trip ticket at our regular low unrestricted fare, a friend gets to fly with you, free.
Hey, Dad, seen the head trimmer?
There's no advance purchase and tickets are fully refundable.
Here's that putter I borrowed last year. Oh, buddy.
Southwest Airlines Friends Fly Free. It's great for your pocketbook and your popularity.
These Chrysler Plymouth people have just gone too far. Chrysler minivans are already #1 in sales, and still, Chrysler Plymouth makes improvements, exceeding 1998 safety standards now. Then this, up to $2,600 in cash back and option savings. Right, up to $2,600 on Plymouth Voyager, Grand Voyager, and Chrysler Town & Country. Up to $2,600 in savings. Madness at the minivan store. At your Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Is that what I think it is?
Yeah, it's my new Wagner power painter.
Well, can you edge with it?
Yeah, you can edge like this or adjust it to control the paint up close. And when I'm done, I'm gonna switch nozzles and stain my deck. Do a lot of other jobs I've been meaning to do.
Well, does it clean up easy?
Yeah, it's quicker than you think.
Why am I painting this by hand?
Good question. Get a Wagner.
Fight night. Fight night. Fight night. At the Forum. Hook. Uppercut. Right cross. Lights out.
Live from the Forum. Monday night at 9 Mountain on PSN.
Well, when the pitching doesn't hold up, you've got to score some runs. Let's see if this Redbird offense can come back. Greg Harris gets that sinker in as we start the fifth. Pena the leadoff man, then McGriff. They already have a right-hander loosening in the bullpen, so it looks like Joe Torre is going to go to a pinch hitter as Arocha is scheduled up third here in this inning. Colorado leading 5-1. They've out-hit the Cardinals. Plenty. They had 16 hits last night, as you see the slow curve give Pena a problem. He was out in front. Now he's in the hole. 1 and 2. 9 base hits for the Rockies tonight. Everybody in the lineup has a hit except Mejia, who homered here last night. Roberto's 0 for 2. And Bichette has 2 hits.
Everyone in the Colorado Rocky lineup last night had a hit.
16 total as they won 10-1, hitting 4 home runs, 3 in the 8th inning. So you've got to score when you come into this Mile High Stadium. Curve is low to Pena, and that runs the count full. Geronimo getting a start tonight at second base. Torrey's been alternating. Alicea and Geronimo. They're deep and they play him to pull. Just high and he walks it. Well, that's something you don't like to see. Your team gives you a big lead and then you walk the leadoff hitter. Well, here's tonight's White Castle Cardinal quiz. Who hit the first home run in Rockies history? The White Castle Cardinal quiz is brought to you by White Castle for that one-of-a-kind steam grilled taste you're craving. Come to White Castle. Why don't you do it now? The Colorado Rockies manager, former Cardinal coach Don Baylor. Terry McGriff tried to go the other way, but got it just down the line foul. Baylor is a very intense competitor, isn't he, Al Rabowski?
Yes, he is. He knows how to play this game of baseball. He was a terrific hitter in the American League. And
Pena's running. And he'll get the stolen base. For Pena is second of the year, and I like to see that. Keep everybody on their toes. This Colorado club runs. Pena gets the stolen base.
Pretty close play right there. You've got to make sure you get the good jump and you make yourself safe, but that's one thing. You got to get some life back in this club.
So Pena stirs him a bit, and McGriff could take one of those tallies off the board. Well, out in front on that curveball. Now he's in the hole with a 1-2 count. Early starting time out here, but it hasn't seemed to bother either the hitters or the fielders, has it, Alex?
No, it has not. You know, in the early going, you had a few more shadows, but it appears now that the playing surface shouldn't be any problem for any of the fielders. Maybe a little bit for the left fielder on high fly balls.
A little high as that one to even the count. They also have a playoff basketball game here right over the right field stands. So there'll be a few people here this evening.
Yeah, and I could imagine anybody trying to get to the airport tonight would probably be delayed a little bit because of 50,000 plus here, probably 20,000 across the street.
Strike 3 call. And McGriff didn't like the call. He talks to Joe West, the home plate umpire, but to no avail, and we're going to get a pinch hitter. We'll let you umpire. What do you think, folks? The strikeout, the second. And Luis Alicea will be the pinch hitter. Well, Joe Torre. Chris says, you got to be kidding. Rocha goes 5 innings. Gives 5 runs on 9 base hits. Struck out a couple and he walked one. Good play by Alicea, but he takes the curveball. It's a strike. On the corner again, and Joe West, the home plate umpire, is giving that pitch now. That will be the Cardinals' new pitcher, Frank Cimarelli. He'll get his 3rd taste of big league baseball.
I thought he pitched well last night.
Yeah, he did.
You know, he got a little tired at the end.
Pitched very well after coming off a rocky debut down in the Astrodome. Who wants this one? Ellis Burks, the center fielder, takes charge, and he takes the easy fly ball off the bat of Alicea for the 2nd out here in the 5th inning. The Cardinals still having a problem against the breaking ball expert, Greg Harris. This guy has a number of off-speed pitches, doesn't he, Al? And he varies the speeds on them.
Doesn't throw as hard as he once did, but what he's come up with is an effective cutter. He throws a sinker. Curveball's always been his big pitch. Does throw a slider and a change, but he's tried to experiment with different, throwing a little tighter breaking ball too.
Not many fellas throw the slider and the curveball, do they?
Right. Yeah, not a lot of them. There's always one of them going to be more dominant. And Mike, I think that goes back to the fact that if you're going to maintain the velocity on your fastball, you've got to throw it nearly 70% of the time just to maintain velocity.
A half swing and a foul, goes back to the screen on Ray Langford. Langford singled in the 1st and scored, and he's now hitting a dozen straight, and during those 12 ball games he's batted well over 370.
See, Ray kind of smiling right there. Those are the numbers against the Rockies, but that foul ball almost decapitated Ozzie Smith at the on-deck circle.
So the Wizard backs up a step or two. Takes off his batting helmet.
It knocked it, it knocked it off when he tried to get out of the way.
Just low and inside, and Harris didn't get that call. Peña's at second base, 2 outs. We're in the 5th. And the Rockies lead it by 4. There's the outfield at Mile High. 3-1 now. He has the base open, and Ozzie Smith on deck, and it appears that Harris, even though he has a 5-run lead, or excuse me, a 4-run lead, leading 5-1 here in the 5th, is not going to give Langford anything too sweet. But Ray will be pumping if it's to his liking this time. 7 home runs for the Cardinal center fielder. Harris wants a new sign, and now Girardi's going to go out and talk to him about that. Al, when you got a catcher that you really like to work with, was it almost like he could read your mind?
That's it, Mike. That's nothing more reassuring to a pitcher is when you're thinking, I want to throw this pitch, and then the catcher calls that. It just totally reinforces it.
Now in that case there, Girardi wanted a certain pitch. Harris didn't want to throw it, so he went out there and talked to him. Let's see if he talked him into going back outside with the fastball. He did, but I don't think Harris had enough confidence to throw it over for a strike, and he walks it.
Well, one of the things you mentioned with a 4-run lead, you don't want to put guys on base.
That's right. Not in this ballpark.
Not in this ballpark, but with 2 outs, and Ozzie not swinging as well as, say, Ray Langford, you might say, okay, I'll go with the guy I know I can get out with the base open.
You better get him out, though, because if you don't, then you've got Jeffries.
That's how you get in trouble.
Well, he got that first one over the outside corner. 2 on, 2 out. Just inside. And Harris has hit a little spot here now. He walked the leadoff hitter, Peña. He stole second. McGriff fan. Alicea, the pinch hitter, flied to center. Then he's walked Langford. Slow curve, misses, and it's 2-1 now on the Wizard.
And he's trying to get a little too fine right now. And you know, when he throws that sinker up there, it should get a ground ball, or he throws that breaking ball and doesn't hang it, it should produce the ground ball. You know, and I always say that because of keeping the ball in this ballpark.
Ozzie not much of a threat, but even he could hit it out of this ballpark, and now he misses low again, and he's struggling right now. And let's see if the Cardinals can capitalize.
You know, Don Baylor, what he's upset about is like, hey, come on now.
Let's go. You got a 4-run lead. Throw the ball over the plate, make him earn it, right?
And, you know, the fact of what you're saying, now you're trying to pitch so carefully to Ozzie, who's still hitting under 200. You're going to bring up the bases loaded with a hot hitting Greg Jeffries.
Well, he'd be the time to run. But the Wizard bounces to the second baseman. He boots it, and now the bases are loaded. There's another aspect of it, too. Well, you put those walks on, now a misplay, and there you are, the tying run at the plate. The hottest hitter on the Cardinal club, Jeffries. It's the first boot of the night, and it's the first error in this series by Colorado. He just let that ball play it.
That's right. Got the ground ball and came in here a little bit casual. Took a little funny hop, but it was still a very makeable play and a play you have to make. Larry Bernard, the pitching coach, joins the discussion.
Now they're getting a little antsy in the Rockies dugout. But that'll all go for naught as Jeffries rounds out. And the Cardinals strand 3. They've now left 5. There you see the scene here in Denver, Colorado. Mid-5th, Colorado 5-1 over the Cards.
I finally made it to the big leagues. And my first game, we get the call. And I'm thinking, how lucky can a guy get?
Beechwood aged for that fresh, distinctive taste. Crisp, clean, classic.
If your teeth are yellow or stained, it's nothing to smile about.
But this is Dental White, the professional non-abrasive tooth whitening process used by dentists across the country to whiten their patients' teeth. Jeanette used Dental White on her upper teeth only. Now just look at these dramatic results.
My boyfriend, he loves my new smile.
I was amazed at how simple and easy it was to use.
My teeth were whiter after the first time I used it.
Dental White penetrates into the pores of your teeth to lift out grime. Simply apply the Dental White formula to the custom tray and fit it to your teeth. And then wear the tray for 30 minutes. Dental White will whiten your teeth and make them more brilliant than ever. Call now and you'll get a double-sized bottle of Dental White, 2 sets of custom trays, and easy-to-follow instructions, all for just $19.95.
Have your credit card ready and call 1-800-253-8665 or send check or money order for $19.95 plus $4.50 shipping and handling to Dental White, Department N, P.O. Box 4943, Omaha, Nebraska 68104.
From Mile High Stadium tonight, St. Louis Cardinals baseball is brought to you by Busch Beer, smooth as a mountain stream. Head for the mountains of Busch. And by your neighborhood Chrysler Plymouth dealers, where real advantages make a real difference. And by Southwest Airlines, providing frequent flights and low fares to many exciting destinations. Southwest Airlines, just plain smart. And the new pitcher, Frank Cimarelli. Well, he had a rocky outing in his major league debut, but as you mentioned, Al, he settled down and pitched well here last night, and he's in his 3rd big league game.
Yeah, he pitched well, and he was converted to relieving in 1992, and there's the numbers, 2 1/3. He gave up the earned run, and that was in his last inning of work. It would have been his 3rd inning, and he said that was about the longest he had gone since he was converted to relieving. So he had reached his limit, but he's back out tonight.
Yeah, he looked rather impressive. Felt it was a high draft choice for the Cardinals and has worked his way to the big leagues. And the first man he'll face is the league's leading hitter, Ellis Burks. What a start this guy's off to in the National League. Played for many seasons in the American League with the Red Sox and the White Sox. He's hit 10 home runs. He has 19 RBIs, and he started the night hitting .429. He's up to .430 as he stands in now. Low and away. 2 balls and a strike. Cimorelli basically a sinker ball pitcher, Al.
Yeah, that's you know, the sinker, and that's what you need in this ballpark. Sinker, slider, he's got a curveball too. But if you can get that downward action, that produces ground balls and keeps the ball in this ballpark. You don't want a fly ball pitcher here.
Keep it out of that rarefied air. Mile High Stadium, Denver, Colorado. 3-1. He walks it. Well, we gave you the question. Who hit the first home run in Rockies history? There you go. Then he hit it off the pitcher that will be working for the Mets tomorrow night. Who was the last Rocky to hit a home run?
Hanging breaking ball out over the plate, arms extended, hits it to well over 400 feet and into the rock pile.
At the plate now, Charlie Hayes. He had a 3-run homer here last night. He's grounded out and he's tripled this evening. I didn't know if he was going to make it to third or not. Once again, the Rockies run. Say one thing for him. Don Baylor, he's an aggressive manager. He doesn't sit around very much, does he, Al?
It doesn't, and you know, Mike, when you play for an aggressive manager, you enjoy it.
And you're aggressive yourself. Keeps you on your toes.
Sure do. Cimorelli, one thing, very slow to the plate.
That's not good for a relief pitcher because he's going to be coming into the game most of the time with men on base. Burks has swiped a couple this season. And he was running on that first pitch to Charlie Hayes. A little high this time, and he's been high with almost everything else. So where he was good last night, now he comes into this ball game. Could it be he's a little stiff from working that many?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, that maybe he just hasn't bounced back quite yet because high sinkers don't get it.
It's another component that a relief pitcher needs. The ability to work 3 or 4 times a week. Pitch out, nothing doing. 2-1. Well, the Cardinals, or Don Baylor has the Cardinal management thinking over there, pitching out.
Well, now you got a perfect running count.
2-1. No one out here in the Rockies' 5th, and they're up 5-1. And the Cardinal second pitcher of the night, Frank Cimorelli. Young man from upstate New York, Poughkeepsie. Just misses inside, just misses the hitter, and it's 3-1. Probably had the runner moving on the first pitch. Will they have him going 3-1? Most likely he will.
These Colorado Rocky hitters don't need the benefit of hitting with the count in their favor. Throw them strikes, they're swinging.
Burks is running. He walks. He walked Burks. Now he walks Charlie Hayes. And that'll bring Joe Coleman, the Cardinal pitching coach, to the mound. Well, Al, you mentioned the injuries that the Cardinals have sustained. Sooner or later, the young guys have to pick it up.
Yeah, and I really thought that Cimorelli, because of being a sinker baller, and find his niche up here and be all right. But you have to throw strikes. You don't throw strikes, no one can help you.
And especially here, he's walked the first 2. Arocha walked only 1, but he gave 9 hits and 5 runs. And the pitch that really hurt him was the hanging slider to Dante Bichette, the 2-run homer. Bichette, by the way, now is 5 out of 12 against Arocha lifetime. And there's a look at Mile High. Next year, you won't be able to see it, folks. We'll be in the new ballpark. And we're going to call that stadium Half Mile High Stadium.
Actually, it's going to be a lot prettier because I think behind home plate will be the downtown area, and it'll face out the mountains.
Will it be completely?
No.
They're going to leave the outfield open, huh?
Right.
Like Shea Stadium.
Like Shea Stadium.
Not far from here and not far from downtown. The Hard Hat boys have been working, and they hope to have it ready for opening day 1995. And I hope Al Rabowski and I are here to bring it to you, along with our fine Bud Sports crew.
It'll be somewhat enclosed, Mike. When you look at it, looks like it opens up a little. It's double tiered in right and right center, but single tiered in left.
At the plate now is Girardi, and the first 3 to him have missed the strike zone. And Cimarelli is saying, "Whoa, is me." And the Cardinals get another right-hander up in the bullpen, and there's a fellow that's done very good work for the Cardinals, John Habian.
Yeah, Habian has really been a godsend. He pitched 2 shutout innings last night, and he's always ready to pitch.
He shows that rubber arm ability, and a strike inside. 3-1 now on Girardi. Girardi singled and scored in the second, grounded out in the third. Then he bats with runners at first and second here in the fifth, no one out. He took the 3-0 pitch. Will he be swinging 3-1? You bet. If it's to his liking, it is. And a double play. That's a big play there. Ozzie shoveled it over to Pena in a hurry, and the Cardinals get a break there. The double dip, that takes the sting out of this inning, and it shows you how if you put the ball in play, you have a chance.
That's right. Now, I'm not too sure Ozzie didn't catch his finger, you know, and trap it, or maybe it's just on the glove hand. Shovel pass there, but he came off with that glove. It was a scorcher.
He might have a bone bruise before this one's finished.
I mean, he's going to go on the disabled list?
No, he's not going to go on the DL. He's a very durable, everyday guy, isn't he? Now, a man at first with 2 outs. And the only fella in the Rockies lineup tonight without a hit, oh, poor baby, is Mejia. He's at the plate. He's grounded out twice. Both times he's grounded to Zeal at third. A little high. Well, we mentioned opening day last year here at Denver. This is what opening day looked like this year. What is that, dandruff?
You know what, Mike, they had like I think a 2 p.m. start, and the weather forecasters said at 4 o'clock it's going to snow. At 2 o'clock there was not a cloud in the sky. It was relatively a nice day, and at 4 o'clock it started snowing. And the media here went to ask Bob Gephardt, their general manager, said, "Well, why can't you just start the game early?"
Just to alert the entire world.
He said, "Yeah, there's going to be 72,000 people here, and you want to start, not tell them we're going to start early."
But they got that game in, and they've gotten most in. And when you check the weather here in Denver, usually they have clear skies during the baseball season. A little high, and another walk. That's the 3rd in the inning. It goes to Mejia, and it brings in Harris. Well, maybe he can get out of here. Nope, he's not going to get a chance. Evidently, here comes Joe Torre. And Mr. Torre might go to the bullpen. He will. So Cimarelli goes 2/3 of an inning. And as John Habian comes in, we'll take time out for this, as you see Joe Torre and the Cardinal catcher.
May is the month of spring, and PSN has the fever. Major League Baseball heats up with the St. Louis Cardinals and their push to the top of the National League. Great college baseball action with the Big 8 Conference Championship. Auto racing shifts into gear and heads toward the checkered flag with NASCAR, SCCA, and Countdown to Indy. Plus, get out of the blocks with the Big 10 Track and Field Championship. Spring fever is here this May on PSN.
There you see the bottom of the 5th, 5-1 Colorado. Man at first, 2 out. You know, there's nothing like that moment when the baseball and the bat makes contact. Well, the folks at Anheuser-Busch's SeaWorld Parks want you to enjoy another kind of exciting contact with the wonderful world of sea animals like whales, sharks, manatees, dolphins, and even more. If you'd like more information on SeaWorld in Orlando, here's the telephone number for you, 407-363-6999. 2-5-7-1. And there's Joe Coleman already on the phone making his reservations for SeaWorld in Orlando. Or do you think he's...
I think it's SeaWorld.
I think he wishes he was in SeaWorld right now.
Habian's appearing in his 13th ball game. He has done an outstanding job. Only been scored upon in one game. See, 6 walks, 7 strikeouts, 12+ innings. He pitched 2 shutout innings last night, and you just have to wonder where we'd be without his quality work.
Well, here's a guy that's picked it up a notch. We've talked about that. Somebody has to do when the injuries plague you. Let's see if Habian can get out of this 2-on, 2-out mess. Harris, double run home and scored in the second, struck out in the fourth. A little low and away. Well, that bullpen's been getting their work in anyway. Joe Torre wants to keep this ball game right here because a 4-run lead in this part can disappear in a big hurry. We haven't gotten into that bullpen yet as Habian gets the strike in. Habian last year worked for the Yankees, and the Cardinals made a great acquisition with this fella.
Well, Joe Torre wants to get in that bullpen because he knows the last 3 consecutive times Greg Harris, the batter at the plate, has pitched well as a starter, turned the job over to the bullpen. They've blown 4 saves and have a combined ERA of 17.18 during those times when Harris starts.
So you'd like to get into that bullpen, but the Cardinals are going to have to mount some offense. They have just 3 hits all night. And another strike, and the inning's over. So Habian comes in and once again does the job, puts out the fire. 3 walks in the inning, a double play. They strand 2. The Rockies have already left 7, but they lead it 5-1.
Ah, yes, the guinea pig. When a new car comes out, nobody wants to be one. This past year, a number of pioneering souls bought the new Chrysler Concorde. Did they make the right decision? Among 129 new models sold, the Concorde was in the top 10 in owner satisfaction, along with Lexus and Mercedes, proving that sometimes good things come to those who don't wait. The Concorde, an eloquent expression of form following function at your Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
You think this is a crash? That's not a crash. You want a crash, we'll give you a crash. Introducing Upper Deck's Crash the Card Sweepstakes. The grand prize winner will meet Ken Griffey and appear on his 95 baseball card. Just look for info on this and over 1 million other prizes on packages of Upper Deck's new Collector's Choice baseball cards. Many will enter, few will win.
Up and away. Superman and the Mets fly into Busch Stadium where the Cards are ready to hammer these New York heroes. Step up to the plate for plenty of swinging, slamming Cardinal excitement. The Mets take on the Cardinals Saturday at 8 Central, live on PSN.
There you see the action as you see the action in the Colorado Rockies dugout. Evidently, they're not pleased at all the way Greg Harris threw in the last inning when he walked a couple. The air put him under the gun, but the Cardinals couldn't pull the trigger as they stranded the bases loaded. And someone runs down to the bullpen. So they'll keep a very close eye on Harris. He showed some signs of tiring in the 5th, and he'll have Zio, Gilkey, and Mabry here in the Cardinals' 6th inning. Redbirds trail by 4. Zio, as he takes a strike, is 0 for 2 tonight. He's grounded to 3rd and to short. They're very deep, and they bunch him in the outfield. They give him both the left and the right field line. There's a good pitch as far as Harris is concerned. When he throws that fastball and gets it over the inside corner for a strike, that really sets up the breaking pitches that he possesses.
Todd's had a lot of trouble against this right-hander.
Came in 1 out of 12. He's now 1 out of 14. And he's in the hole with a 1-2 pitch coming. He got him to chase the low breaking pitch, and Walt Weiss, the guy they picked up to solidify their infield, has certainly done that as he throws out Zio for the second time tonight. And Todd's 0 for 3 as Gilkey walks in. Bernard got a base hit his last time up, and he had been 3 out of 30 prior to that base hit. So maybe he's swinging the bat again.
Well, it's been April 17th, the last time Bernard Gilkey had an extra base hit. And I think Mike, you know, he's a tough kid, and I think his wrist has been bothering him a little more than he leads people to believe.
He pops it foul over our head and into the upper deck here at Mile High for a souvenir. And that right there, Al, is probably the pitch that's bothering him as far as the wrist is concerned. Well, you can see it right there.
Yeah, remember when we talk how good he hits with his hands?
Yeah.
Now he can't move them.
That's usually the pitch that he was ripping into the corner or over the left field wall.
Well, he could use his hands, turn on that ball. Now it's almost defensive.
And evidently they scouted him well, because here's a breaking ball pitcher, and he's been pounding the fastball inside, 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 right in on his hands.
Yeah, and that's what you want to know. If somebody has a bad hand, then they go away and paint the outside corner.
Good slider there, wasn't it? Whew, perfect.
You know, if somebody has a bad wrist or something like that, that's one of the things you will pound them in there. Look at that, just set it upside, out of way, and hits the spot.
His third strikeout, and he's quickly retired the first 2 here in the 6th. Well, Reynoso went the distance last night as the Rockies won 10-1. Here's Mabry, and the pitcher just got a piece of that, and that pays off because it gives Weiss the chance to come in and make the play. No bad break for Mabry. And a good play by the pitcher, Harris. So as we go to the Colorado 6th, they lead it. The Rockies 5-1.
If it's time to do a little groundbreaking, don't go at it the old-fashioned way. Tear through it with a garden claw from Garden Weasel.
At the beginning of each season, your ground could look like this.
Just to get it ready for planting used to take hours of back-breaking labor.
The garden claw can tear through hardpack. Just position it like this, and you'll be ready to cultivate, loosen, aerate, and weed.
The hardened steel tines rip through tough soil with just a twist of the comfort grip handles, even in heavy clay.
And you can use the garden claw to cultivate around shrubs, bushes, and other hard-to-reach places. It uniformly blends fertilizer, peat moss, and it's a great mixer for your compost heap, too. It comes with a 100% lifetime guarantee. Now, you can't beat that.
So if you've got a tough job ahead of you, tear through it the easy way with the garden claw from Garden Weasel.
It can tame your yard and get your garden ready in no time.
The Garden Claw is available at Kmart, Walgreens, Sears, and participating True Value, Ace, HWI, and Service Star. Makes a great gift for Dad.
You think this is a crash? That's not a crash. You want a crash? We'll give you a crash. Introducing Upper Deck's Crash the Card Sweepstakes. The grand prize winner will meet Ken Griffey and appear on his 95 baseball card. Just look for info on this and over 1 million other prizes on packages of Upper Deck's new Collector's Choice baseball cards. Many will enter, few will win.
The NASCAR circuit sizzles as Eli Gold puts you in the pits with racing's top names. Get cheered up and talk to the pros on This Week in NASCAR.
Thursday nights at 10 Central, 9 Mountain on PSN.
There you see the numbers here at Mile High Stadium. And you see John Habian. He relieved in the 5th, got out of the mess, and he'll work here in the 6th. He'll have the top of the lineup. Weiss, Johnson, and Bichette. Walt Weiss hitting as the leadoff man. They went out and acquired this fella, and they inserted him right in that leadoff spot. And he's done a good job. Starts the night hitting .270. He's singled, he's walked, he's stolen a base, he's scored a run. And Habian comes right after him. The slider inside, he gets the foul tip to even the count 1-1. They're deep for Weiss, who doesn't possess much power, but they play everyone deep in this ballpark. Oh, good pitch there. He took a little off and he caught that outside corner.
Habian does a good job mixing up his pitches, keeping the ball down.
And his numbers are very, very good. He leads the club in appearances. Just missed that time.
You know, Mike, he was not tendered a contract by Kansas City, and that's almost hard to believe. You know, a very valuable guy because you can pitch him back-to-back days, and he likes to work.
He works a fastball into Weiss, and he works it into right field. His second hit of the night. For the Rockies, they're back in double figures. They now have 10. Habian appearing for the 13th time this season. That's 2 more than anyone else in the ball club. And his earned run average is 1.42. Opposing hitters are batting .244 against the Cardinal right-hander. Here's Howard Johnson. He has 2 RBIs tonight, a sacrifice fly and a single, and he's scored a run.
Here's a situation also where it puts pressure on the Cardinals because with the lead, why not run these guys?
He has the dangerous left-handed hitter up there, Howard Johnson, the switch hitter.
No, this is the ideal thing for Howard, a fastball hitter. Get him to where you got a base stealer in front of him.
Did you find those catchers would put down #1 more often when they had a base stealer on out?
You better believe it.
They want a little help. Is that what you're saying? It's funny, though. That really doesn't help. It's how quickly you get rid of the baseball from the set position to home plate that helps.
Yeah. You know, Habian is one of the better Cardinal pitchers that we have, and with a short stride and getting the ball to the plate, giving a catcher an opportunity to throw out a base stealer.
They're very deep for Howard. He's hit a couple of home runs. One of those home runs against the Cardinals in the most recent series at Busch. And Habian paying attention to the runner, Walt Weiss. Zeal, Smith, Pena, and Jeffries. They look for that double play ball. Trouble about getting the double play ball off the bat of Howard Johnson. He's a fly ball hitter. He usually hits the ball in the air. Weiss stole his 5th base of the season back in the 4th, and it paid off. He came in to score on Howard Johnson's base hit. Johnson missed his pitch on that first delivery. It was a good sinker from Habian. Takes a little off this time, but misses out there, and it evens the count.
Well, Mike, it looks like the possibility of the Palacio starters could be over. We got Urbani will be used in the rotation on Saturday. We might not see that 5th spot before Sutcliffe is back.
Pitch out, nothing doing. 2-1. They pitched out the last time and it didn't work. They pitch out here again. So the Cardinal club very aware of this running situation. In fact, seems like that's more on their mind than Howard Johnson at the moment, and that'll get you in a bag, won't it?
Yes, it will. And it's tough enough to get hitters out when you try and split the concentration between base runner and hitter. Usually spells problems with the pitch to the hitter.
And another example of what speed will do for you. He tried to quickly throw over there, and I hope he didn't injure himself.
You know what? He might have his right knee kind of buckled. Yeah, buckled, slipped. He had a bad throw. It hopped and skipped to Jeffries.
There you see the scene. And a foul tip that evens the count now. 2 on the good side, 2 on the bad as far as Habian and Howard Johnson are concerned.
Like Walt Weiss had a pretty good jump, started to go and then stopped.
I, for one, am not big on the pitch out as far as throwing runners out. The only reason I think you should employ the pitch out now is when you think the hit and run is on. Oh, and a good stop that time by McGriff. Boy, that was a good play.
Yeah, I never liked the pitch out because, you know, I mean, I think it's almost sort of sends a psychological sign that you don't think you can get the hitter out.
Or that you're more worried about the runner.
Right.
Well, he'll probably be running this time. 3-2 is the count. Nobody out, and he draws yet another throw as Habian whips it over there. Bichette is on deck. The big boys will bat here in the 6th. So when Walt Weiss gets on, that spells trouble. And if this guy gets hot, and Bichette, Galarraga, and Burks all stay hot, they're going to spell trouble for National League hurlers. Ooh, he's got him this time, picked him off. Great move that time, and he had Weiss leaning, and there's a big play there. So all of the attention pays off.
And, you know, there's no real excuse for Weiss. In that situation, 3-2, he can't get picked off here. You got to make sure you go, and he's clearly out. So he was going on the pitch, and Habian, with the quickest move, got him out. But that's a bad base running mistake there.
Yeah, on a 3-2 count and you're running, it's more like the hit and run. You should never get picked off. You can get thrown out, that's okay, but don't get picked off. The other way around in stealing, as he gets the curveball in there and he gets the strikeout. Heck of a pitch, and a good job by Habian as he continues to sparkle out of that bullpen.
And I think that's one of the things we're seeing too. He's starting to rack up a few strikeouts, but he fooled a pretty good hitter there. And Habian did start throughout his minor league career, but really at the big league level has been a reliever all the way through.
Paid attendance here tonight at Mile High is 51,639. Their season average right close to 55,000 a game. Last year they averaged 57,000. They've already sold 3.6 million tickets. They've already sold that many. Last year they set an all-time record, and one that for all practical purposes, Al, may never be broken with the new ballparks.
Right.
You know, most of the new ballparks are 50,000.
Yeah, and I mean, actually, Habian, I think, hurt his knee earlier.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier, and now Torrey's going to come out with a Cardinal trainer, Gene Gieselman, to check on him. And as he walks off the mound to meet the Cardinal manager, you can already see him kicking that leg. They would just want to find out if he's all right. And Joe Torre went right up to him. You okay? And he said yes. That's the safe way to play it, isn't it, Al? Find out. Go out. A lot of time guys are such great competitors, they won't complain. They won't come out of the ball game no matter how much they're hurting.
And that's why Joe looks in your eyes. But it's not a charged visit either, because you first go out and tell the umpire, I want to check on my pitcher. So you do not use up a visit.
I remember when they first put that rule in, I'll tell you a story about it. As you see Bichette going for the downs again. He was a great manager, the big, strong guy the Cardinals had. They called him the Bear. I'll think of it here in a second. He was managing Cincinnati at the time, and they just put that rule in. As you see the strikeout now, I'll continue the story when we come back. 2 strikeouts in the inning, 3 in the game for Habian, and he's put some sanity to this action. We have completed 6 here at Mile High, and the Rockies lead it 5-1.
Hi, I'm Rick Mahar for your Midwest GMC truck dealers, and this is the 94 GMC Suburban and Yukon. With unmatched size and strength, they work harder than any other family vehicle. In fact, they're the largest, most powerful vehicles of their kind. And with all their room and comfort, they're your best big truck value. And there's hundreds to choose from. So see the 94 Suburban and Yukon today at Bellman GMC in Northwest County, Bomarito GMC in Ellisville, or Brockland GMC in Fairmount City, Illinois. Your Midwest GMC truck dealers.
Baseball. You love the game. You know the players. You know the teams. But do you really know baseball? What really is the pitcher's job? What is a hitter trying to do? And what does a manager really do besides eat sunflower seeds and spit? My new book, Essential Baseball, provides an in-depth study from the very best down to the very least offensive players in the game. We rate and rank all the pitchers, all the hitters, Our ratings provide a goldmine of fantasy baseball information. Essential Baseball even provides insight into the real prospects and farm systems, the strategy and lineup construction. Who are the best managers? This is nearly 400 pages of terrific information. Essential reading for every baseball fan. Here's how to order.
To order by phone, call 1-800-652-2112 and ask for item number 604. The book is just $12.95, so call now.
Into the 7th inning, 5-1 Colorado on Wednesday, May 25th. The Cardinals host the Phillies. It's Exhilarama night at Busch Stadium. All fans 18 and under with a paid admission receive a free pass worth up to $21 for Exhilarama at Crestwood Plaza. It's a family fun center, and that promotion comes your way Wednesday, May 25th. The Cardinals and the Phillies, a 7:05 start. Here's Pena, and let's hope he can get something started in the 7th. He walked his last time up, 0 for 1. And a little anxious, 1-1.
Yeah, Pena really has trouble with a breaking ball. He has had some success and even hit a home run off of Harris, but you know, he just has a tendency to be so lunging out there. You know, those breaking balls, he can't wait back.
1-1 to Pena. There's another example, 1-2.
One of the things about Harris, oftentimes you find, you know, he does go 7 to 8 innings. Good curveball, you know, it almost becomes the fact he wears down that his curveball becomes even better late in the game.
Check swing grounder back to Harris. Easy out.
There's that curveball way out in front.
Pena didn't learn one thing from one pitch to the next. This has been an extremely disappointing series in Colorado to this point.
Well, you know, it's almost like two different teams are hitting here. The Rockies are utilizing the thin air. The Cardinals, you think it's a dead ballpark.
The Cardinals have only 3 hits tonight. Last night they managed just 5.
They had 2 of those in the first inning, didn't they?
You got it.
Oh, by the way, I know you were dying to hear about Mike Shannon's story, so you have to tune into our Knicks prime telecast. He did come up with the Cincinnati Reds manager was Fred Hutchinson. And that's all I know about the rest of the story.
All right. 1 out, nobody on. And the 1-1 to McGriff. That's a fair ball and extra bases. The bat boy almost made the play. That's how bad things are going. But McGriff will get into second base with a stand-up double. That's how bad things are going. The bat boy almost flagged that one down the left field line, but luckily he left it alone. And McGriff with a 1-out double.
Well, the bat boy was down there protecting Rodriguez, who's warming up in the bullpen. But here you see him readjust to the off-speed pitch right inside the third baseline. And then watch the ball boy saying, "Wait a minute, my job is to protect the pitcher, but not on plays."
Saying I came that close to making a complete idiot out of myself.
But he got himself on ESPN and Prime Sports Network.
One out. McGriff at second. Gerald Perry will come off the bench to pinch hit. Joe Torre feeling it here in the 7th. Got to get back on the board and add to the run total. Had that ball boy knocked down that ball or made the play, they would have given McGriff a double anyway.
Yeah, I think it's a judgment call by the umpires, and definitely going down in the corner, you would have to say he would get at least 2. Joe Torre probably argued give him 3.
Perry pinch hitting. Runner at second, 1 out. And ball 1 to Gerald. Perry hitting .375. He's batting for Habian, who pitched an inning and a third. No runs, 1 hit, 3 strikeouts.
Nice job by Habian. We're saying that an awful lot.
Yeah, I think all things considered, Al, on a consistency basis, outside of Mike Perez when he was healthy, Habian has been maybe the best on the staff, period, with what his job is. 2-0 on Perry. Runner at second, one out. 3-0 with Langford next.
John Habian's only been scored upon in 1 of 13 games.
Can't argue with that or complain about that.
Nice work, John Habian. Let's see if we can reward you. But you have to battle back, down by 4.
And now 3-1 on Perry. Thought that pitch was low as he talks to Joe West, or at least looks at him. Had a lot of hitters turn around tonight. Runner at second, one out. Perry with a 3-1 count. Full count. Cardinals are down by 4 here in the top of the 7th inning. Greg Harris trying to bear down and get Perry and avoid having 2 on with 1 out for Langford, who waits on deck. Three-2 to Perry. And a little flare into right. Out goes Mejia. 2 out. And the Cardinals can string nothing together.
Harris here with 6 2/3 innings pitch. It's almost automatic. He's going to get you 7 or 8 innings. They just have started to get the bullpen up for the first time tonight.
Willie Blair will crank it up for Colorado. Beautiful night, and the Rockies fans here having a good time. Runner at second, 2 out for Langford. Maybe Ray can light the fire. Hitting .354, single in the first and scored on a hit by Jeffries. After that, the Cardinals have done very little. Two and 0. And again, we fall into the situation where Langford is up, first base is open, Ozzie on deck. Harris doesn't have to give in to Langford, but he'd prefer to keep him off base. But he has the luxury of being able to pitch around him. There was no pitch.
No, time was called.
Time was called by the first base umpire. So instead of 2-1, it's 2-0 again. As a bullpen ball got away, Frank Pulley saw it, called time, and so no pitch. And instead of that strike, it's 2-0 on Langford.
That's our only break.
Greg Harris has a strike taken away from it.
Sure, he's not happy about it, but it was his reliever.
Yeah, Willie Blair, who unleashed the wild pitch, so he'll have to try to find a strike again. 2-0 on Langford. Runner at second, 2 out. 7th inning, Cardinals trailing by 4. There it is, 2-1. Three and 1. Ozzie next. If Langford can keep the inning going. This started with Pena tapping back to the pitcher. A double by McGriff. The pinch hitter Perry popped up to second. Now Langford with a 3-1 count. And the pop up, that'll get out of play. Full count now on Langford. It's tough to even keep pop ups in this ballpark.
Harris threw a 3-1 breaking ball. We'll come back 3-2.
Ray Langford trying to push a run across. Three-2 to Ray. He walked him, and it's 2 on, 2 out. Pretty good pitch again by Harris, but not getting the call, and it's up to Ozzie now.
Ray Langford adds to his very good on-base percentage. Reached base 3 times tonight. He scored the lone run for the Cardinals, and Ozzie's the key man now.
Wouldn't you like to see Jeffries step to the plate as the tying run? We saw that the last time up. Here comes Larry Bernard, the pitching coach, to talk to Greg Harris. Now, last night, the Cardinals handed Vicente Palacios a starting opportunity. He lasted less than 3 innings. Tonight, Rene Arocha lasts only 4. The Cardinals at the moment, and you would think they're 1 hit away from changing it, but at the moment, they look like they lack a little life. And I think that pitching in this ballpark and the way the Rockies have been able to pound the Cardinal pitching has led to that. And 2 disappointing starts in the last 2 games by Palacios last night and Arocha tonight.
Very good assessment, but the hitters just have to worry about what they can control. They can control the offense. They can't control the defense unless it's with their gloves.
2 on for Ozzie, ball 1. And the crowd getting restless again. Same exact situation that we had in the 5th when Ozzie reached on an error to load the bases for Jeffries, who grounded out. Ozzie looks like he's taking a strike, and the count 2-0.
Hey, just like to see Ozzie try and take a ball to left field. But if I were he, take a strike.
3-0. And the Cardinals could hop back into this game right here in the 7th. Ozzie will take 1, maybe 2 strikes. There's the first. 3-1.
Ozzie's one of the hitters that can take pitches and still not hurt it.
2 on, 2 out, 3-1 on Ozzie. Harris brings it in. Full count, and the runners will take off with this next pitch.
Maybe that'll help McGriff get around and get in here.
It's up to Ozzie. 3-2 the count. The runners go. And the bases are loaded. Second walk in the inning, 5th of the game for Greg Harris. And we'll see if Don Baylor will stick with his starter or go to Willie Blair. Cardinals have the bases loaded. McGriff at 3rd. Langford at 2nd. On at 1st after drawing the walk is Ozzie, and that'll be all for Greg Harris. Greg Jeffries will not face the right-hander Harris. Don Baylor out to the mound, and after the back-to-back walks, after 2 men were out in the inning, Don Baylor wants a new pitcher. Great effort tonight by Greg Harris, but that's all. Willie Blair coming in. A local break coming your way. Colorado leading 5-1.
That ball is crushed. That ball is gone.
Step up to the plate for plenty of swinging, slamming Cardinal excitement. St. Louis Cardinals baseball. Catch the excitement all season on PSN.
We are in the top of the 7th inning. The Cardinals will have the tying run step to the plate in the person of Greg Jeffries. Colorado leading, however, 5-1. Well, if you're planning a banquet, consider the St. Louis Soccer Park and Conference Center. Have a banquet or wedding for 150 guests in the elegant, intimate country club dining room, or for 250 guests, the outdoor canopy terrace. Soccer Park and Conference Center can handle barbecues and picnics for groups up to 5,000. Their fully staffed kitchen is prepared to satisfy any culinary request. The St. Louis Soccer Park and Conference Center is located 342 acres near Interstate 270 and 44. For more information, call 314-343-5347. Here's Willie Blair in a tight spot, bases loaded, 2 out, and he'll face Greg Jeffries.
Well, Willie Blair's being used exclusively out of the bullpen this year, and he's 0-1 in ERA, nearly 8. This guy has bounced around. He started with Toronto, was traded to Cleveland, then traded to Houston, and then picked up in the expansion draft by the Rockies. Joe, we mentioned Greg Harris. The team is 1-4 in his 5 starts. He's thrown 3 consecutive well-pitched games, but the bullpen has blown 4 saves for him, and they have a combined ERA of 17.18. And games they come into when he starts.
Bases loaded, 2 out for Jeffries. See if he can add to the Cardinal run total. They're trailing 5-1. And Blair gets strike 1. Willie Blair has been around his transaction list in his bio. Nearly a page. Bases loaded, 2 out. 0-1 to Jeffries. 0-2 to Jeffries, and he didn't like the call.
Well, you know, Greg Jeffries knows Joe West is back behind the plate, so you don't like it that you don't turn and you don't confront the umpire.
0-2. Blair trying to do a big job for Colorado. Jeffries, man, was he ready? He ripped that foul.
Greg's never really hit well. He said, I've never hit well here last year nor in the minor leagues coming to Denver. And you just have to imagine if he could hit well in this ballpark. Just doesn't pick up the flight of the ball. It's kind of a dark park.
0-2 on Jeffries. Bases loaded, 2 out, and Gregg pops one to center. Burks is there, and the Cardinals again strand 3. They got Jeffries to end it in the 5th. They get him in the 7th, and a heck of a job by Willie Blair. No runs, 1 hit, 3 left. The Cardinals have left 8, and they trail 5-1.
Bud Light, please.
Tonight's ladies' night, and there's a special on Bud Light.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Oh no, it's Ted from accounting.
In the center field, Denny.
PSN will be calling soon.
Page 355.
Medications that can rob you of your sex life.
Page 141.
The secret ingredient in Italian foods that can help lower cholesterol.
Page 545.
How to silence a snorer.
This incredible book belongs in every home. The Doctor's Book of Home Remedies, from the editors of Prevention Magazine Health Books.
Over 670 pages of astonishing home remedies, all scientifically proven. Yours free for 3 full weeks.
Page 341.
Why you should never buy color toilet paper.
Now the information you need to cure over 130 common health problems is always on hand.
Act now and you'll also get this fabulous book, Meals That Heal, free.
Page 497.
Use oatmeal to end the itch of poison ivy.
Page 570.
Call now to get the Doctor's Book of Home Remedies free for 3 weeks. Keep it and we'll bill you in 4 easy installments of only $6.99.
Call 1-800-253-8665.
Well, the Cardinals have had chances all night long, but in the bottom of the 7th inning, the Rockies lead it 5-1. And the Cardinals go to a new pitcher, Rich Rodriguez, the 4th of the night. Habian pitched very well, and we'll see if Rodriguez can continue it.
Rich appearing in his 12th game. He is 1-1 in his 1-loss record. 11+ innings, 6 base on balls, 7 Ks. Allowed 1 home run. The opponents are batting .256.
A lot of Cardinal fans here at the ballpark in Denver. Happy Mother's Day to Mary Donovan. Hi to Peggy Donovan in St. Louis. Very well prepared fan here at Mile High Stadium. Rich Rodriguez in to face Galarraga, Burks, and Hayes. The Cardinals have stranded 8 men on tonight. Now Rodriguez tries to keep it a 4-run game. Strike 1 to Galarraga. Galarraga 1 for 3 tonight, hitting .310. Singled his first time up. Two. Rodriguez seems to handle right-handed batters very well.
You know, Joe, that sometimes is not that uncommon. You know, especially when his breaking pitch is the slider. If he had the bigger curveball, then he would be more effective against the left-handed batters. I just like the way he throws, period.
1-2 on Galarraga. Got him. Rodriguez comes in and blows away Galarraga. And a nice start to the 7th inning for Rich Rodriguez.
Rodriguez just goes right after Big Cat. Galarraga can't believe it. He only has 1 hit today, 1 for 4. So Torrey has to get more innings out of his starters.
Yeah, with the injuries being what they are and the rotation being only a 4-man rotation, which is what it probably will be if they take Palacios out. Urbani will be in there on Saturday against the Mets. You cannot have a starter go 3-4 innings a night. That'll kill you. That's a fair ball, and Burks is still alive. It just did dribble foul. At the last moment, Rodriguez was trying to get McGriff to hop up and grab it in fair territory, but it just did move into foul ground.
Now watch this ball. A lot of English right off the end of the bat. It bounces fair, and then you see McGriff and Burks get tangled up. And if Terry could have gotten out there a little bit quicker, it would have been a nice play, because the National League Player of the Month would have been out standing at home plate. There's that good changeup, and he had him fooled.
1-2 now on Burks, who's hitting .430. The Cardinals in the 8th will have Zeal, Gilkey, Mabry, hopefully many more. 1 out, nobody on. Galarraga struck out, and Burks grounds to short. Ozzie stays with it, gets his man, 2 out. Strike out, a ground out. And Rodriguez getting along well. Ozzie took care of that last one, and Charlie Hayes ambles to the plate.
Can't say enough about the job that Habian does, or did. And then if Rodriguez can back him up, at least we've restored a little bit of order to this game.
Cardinals will go home and take on the Mets for 4, then the Cubs for 4.
Got to pick up games there. Got to just beat up on those 2 teams.
Watson will pitch tomorrow night against Saberhagen. Watson 2-1, Saberhagen 3-1. Ozzie in the hole with a backhand. And dug out by Jeffries. Nice play on both ends, and a perfect 7th inning for Rich Rodriguez. Good play by the Wizard, and after 7 in Denver, still 5-1 Colorado.
Is the gray in your mustache or beard making you look too old? Now there's new Just for Men brush-in color gel, specially for the hard-to-color hair of mustaches and beards. This brush-in gel stays put to penetrate hard-to-color hair. In 5 minutes, rinse. Your mustache or beard blends with your natural hair color, and it won't fade or wash out.
Now that's a lot better.
New Just for Men color gel from the leader in men's hair coloring.
Baseball. You love the game. You know the players. You know the team. But do you really know baseball? What really is the pitcher's job? What is a hitter trying to do? And what does a manager really do besides eat sunflower seeds and spit? My new book, Essential Baseball, provides an in-depth study from the very best down to the very least offensive players in the game. We rate and rank all the pitchers, all the hitters. Our ratings provide a goldmine of fantasy baseball information. Essential Baseball even provides insight into the real prospects and farm systems, the strategy and lineup construction. Who are the best managers? This is nearly 400 pages of terrific information. Essential reading for every baseball fan. Here's how to order.
To order by phone, call 1-800-652-2112 and ask for item number 604. The book is just $12.95, so call now.
Fight night, fight night, fight night at the Forum. Hook, uppercut, right cross, lights out.
Live from the Forum, Monday night at 9 Mountain on PSN.
The Cardinals have 6 outs remaining to try to do something about the score. 5-1 Colorado. Monday night, be sure to tune into Prime Sports Network for ringside action. Fight Night at the Forum is live on Prime Sports Network. Check your local listings for the opponents and tune in for live boxing beginning at 11 o'clock in the evening Eastern this Monday night on Prime Sports Network. Don Baylor trying to take 2 from the Cardinals in this quick series here at Mile High.
I felt the blows of Don Baylor in the back before.
Care to elaborate?
A little fight when I was with Kansas City and he was with the California Angels.
0-1 to Zeal and to center, and that's a nice way to start. What the Cardinals were looking for out of Jeffries. Greg has had a frustrating night, and you made mention of the fact that he does not like to hit here, and it's very evident why. But Zeal gets it started in the 8th inning, and maybe the Cardinals can build on that hit.
Well, that's it, Joe. You know, no lead is ever secure in this ballpark. And Habian and Rodriguez have kind of silenced the big bats of the Rockies. Maybe it's time for this bullpen to ignite some runs for the Cardinals.
Gilkey digging in, 1 out of 3. Cannot understand why Charlie Hayes is way in at third. Backs up a couple of steps, but Gilkey, down 4, is not thinking bunt.
Charlie plays to his own tune.
But Gilkey rips him right past him. 2 on, nobody out as Gilkey is drilled, and as a professional, which is what Bernard is, he trots down to first base. You know, Blair's not trying to hit him. But the Cardinals have their first 2 men on for the first time in the game. 2 on, nobody out, and maybe the 8th inning is the inning to get it done.
Don Baylor commenting after the pitch that nips Gilkey, hits him pretty good. Kind of leaning out over the plate, and the ball inside, and just catches him up around the shoulder area.
Now Mabry, 2 on, nobody out. And a check swing hit into left. That will score Zeal. What a break. And Gilkey will head to third. Mabry into second. And all of a sudden the Cards are back in at 5-2 here in the 8th. And Mabry will have to send an apologetic note to Blair after this one. Excuse me. He gets a hit to left.
And you were talking about Charlie Hayes playing in. Now, I don't think he could have got this one, but sometimes a little check swing like that, believe me, when these kind of hits here, and it's excuse me check swing, but you see he got the angle, and it goes down there for an RBI double. The Cardinals have 5-2, but they have 2 at second and third. Those kind of little hits like that can totally disrupt the pitching staff, the pitcher that's on the mound, and then the bullpen, because you start saying, here we go again.
Second and third, nobody out for Payne, who has had a frustrating night. 0 for 2. Maybe he can connect. Tying run at the plate, by the way. And a wild pitch. That'll score Gilkey, and Mabry moves to third. And it's a 2-run game.
How about that?
Booing here at Mile High Stadium.
Well, now we're seeing what the fortunes have turned. 5-3. And here it just obviously crosses up his catcher. He's looking for breaking ball. Girardi doesn't get a glove on it. Now Don Baylor's going to come out here. They've stalled long enough that the bullpen is ready. Munoz, the left-hander, Steve Reed, the right-hander. And Don Baylor is going to go to the right-hander, Steve Reed. He's a side armor. And Joe, he's had a lot of trouble pitching here in Mile High Stadium. We'll talk about that later after the break.
Well, let's hope that trouble continues. The Cardinals threatening. They've scored 2. They have the tying run at the plate. Steve Reed in. 5-3 Colorado, 8th inning.
May is the month of spring, and PSN has the fever. Major League Baseball heats up with the St. Louis Cardinals and their push to the top of the National League. Great college baseball action with the Big 8 Conference Championship. Auto racing shifts into gear and heads toward the checkered flag with NASCAR, SCCA, and Countdown to Indy. Plus, get out of the blocks with the Big 10 Track and Field Championship. Spring fever is here this May on PSN.
Folks, on Friday, June 3rd, the Cardinals take on the Giants. It's Ice Draft from Budweiser can cooler night at the ballpark. All fans 21 and over with a paid admission receive a foam can cooler courtesy of Ice Draft from Budweiser. Ice Draft from Budweiser can cooler night, June 3rd at the ballpark. 7:35 start, the Cardinals and the Giants. And all of a sudden now you get a much better feeling about this game.
You really do. This guy right here, Steve Reed, he's a sidearm. He drops down. He's appearing in his 13th ball game, 1-1 record, ERA just under 5. That's pretty good for the bullpen here. And you look at his numbers, 14 plus innings. He's walked 5. He's struck out 15. He's allowed 2 home runs. Opponents are hitting .317 off him. In '93, pitching on the road, he had a 1.60 ERA. At home, it was 6.39. And already here in the early going, he is 2.16 on the road and better than 8.5 while pitching at Mile High Stadium. So Joe Torre looking at his statistics, how pitchers or batters match up against him. Baylor rolling the dice. He'll come in here. Usually a right-hander that drops down like this has a very distinct advantage against right-handed hitters, but left-handed hitters usually nail him pretty good.
Runner at third, nobody out for Pena with a 1-0 count. 2-0 with McGriff to follow. Tying run at the plate, 8th inning. Cardinals trying to rally, down 5-1 entering the inning. 2-1 and Pena out in front. Looked like Reed took something off on 2-0.
Yeah, he looked like he really pulled the string, and it was a blazing 74-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch. But Pena still has those problems of lunging at everything, so he's way out in front on off-speed pitches.
3-1.
87-mile-an-hour fastball.
McGriff next. Runner at third, nobody out. And ball 4 puts the tying run on. Not a good start from Reed. He comes in and walks the leadoff man, or at least the first man he faces. And the first 4 in this inning have reached, and it's 2 on with nobody out for Terry McGriff. And the Cardinals are hoping for something from their catcher who doubled his last time up.
They mentioned their right-handed batters have a little trouble against a submariner like this because it almost appears he releases the ball behind them.
Strike 1 to McGriff.
So you see that front foot of McGriff will start to bail a little bit. That was a slider down and away. Really have to fight to keep that front shoulder in.
Runners at the corners, nobody out. 5-3 Colorado, top of the 8th.
Joe Torre used his only left-handed batter, Gerald Perry, in the 7th inning. Thought he had a shot, but here you can see absolutely fooled by the motion and the breaking of the pitch.
Tying runs are on, nobody out, but an 0-2 pitch to McGriff. He checked his swing. Did not go, says Frank Pulley. Pretty close though. 1-2. So often, I think the umpire on the corner is influenced by how the umpire behind home plate asks him.
Very good point, Joe, and you are correct.
Joe West said, all right, you want an appeal? Here you go. He didn't go. 1-2 the count. And a check on Pena. Pena stole a base in the 5th inning. He's 2 for 2 in that department. He's the tying run. McGriff trying to do further damage here in the 8th inning. We've got a game again. And a nice piece of hitting to spoil a tough pitch.
Well, Joe, it's much easier to just tell a hitter that you've got to stand right on top of the plate. You've got to almost think center field to right field, keep that front shoulder in, and then drive the ball to the opposite field. But when that pitcher releases the ball and it looks like it's being thrown behind you, you have a natural tendency to bail out.
1-2 on McGriff. 1st and 3rd, nobody out. Into left field. That should get a run home. Mabry tags. He'll score. McGriff the sac fly to left, and it's a 1-run game. 5-4, and the tying run at first with 1 out.
Now that was a good piece of hitting right there. Really looked for the ball away from him. It didn't get quite as far away as the Rockies wanted it from McGriff, and almost reached out and one-armed it for the sacrifice fly.
Look how he hits this, and then watch where the ball is caught.
Yeah, now that is a very good point. No power in his swing. Out there one-handed with the wrist, and it still goes about 280 to 290, 300 feet.
Deep enough for the sac fly to where Johnson didn't even think about throwing. We'll show you in just a moment. 1 on, 1 out for Royer, pinch hitting, and another check on Pena. Look where this ball was caught. I mean, that's 3 steps in front of the warning track.
Yeah, so it's 300 feet with one hand and a flick of the wrist.
Stan Royer homered his last time up in a pinch hitting role in Houston against Mitch Williams. Tying run at first and 1 out. And another check on Pena. As I mentioned earlier, Geronimo stole a base earlier tonight.
Will you do me a favor and Stan Royer a favor and call him by his nickname?
The Steamer, Stanley Steamer.
And tell us why.
There's no reason. But the last time I said that, he homered into left.
And he said to.
He asked me to do that. Pena running. Girardi. Got him. What a throw. Pena out trying to steal. Well, you can't beat that. Girardi guns down Pena, and the tying run off base. That's what the Cardinals lack without Pagnazzi, and that's what the Rockies have in Girardi.
Now, Girardi is a very good thrower, and this is right on the money, and he slides right into it. You can't get thrown out that far.
Eighth inning, 2 out, nobody on, 3 runs in, 5-4 Colorado, and a 1-1 count now on Royer. Everybody's a threat to go deep here. Tying run at the plate with the bases empty.
Let's get a backup slider. One that instead of breaking, here he's going to try maybe a fastball inside.
To third, Hayes backs up. Throws high, safe. And the tying run on again. Hayes backed up on that ball, and it cost the Rockies an out.
He allowed the ball to play him, and it's a real close play at first base. Royer at average speed at best. Look at him back up here, and now he makes a strong throw. He's got a good throwing arm, but that one he really didn't get on top of. Back up that way, then he has to collect himself, get the movement, and a real close play at first. The Cardinals catch a break. Don Baylor makes another visit to the mound with Langford up. He'll go to the left-hander in the bullpen, Mike Munoz.
Munoz will trot in from the bullpen. Don Baylor sends Steve Reed to the showers. So the third pitcher of the inning. Blair started, Reed came in, and now it's the left-hander Mike Munoz. And he'll trot in to take on Ray Langford. The Cardinals have the tying run on base. The go-ahead run at the plate. We're in the 8th inning, 2 out. Munoz in. Stay with us. crush. That ball is gone.
Step up to the plate for plenty of swinging, slamming Cardinal excitement. St. Louis Cardinals baseball. Catch the excitement all season on PSN.
We're in the top of the 8th inning, and the Cardinals have jumped right back into this game and now trail by just a run. They have the tying run on at first. Langford coming up, and here's who will face Mike Munoz. Our first look at this left-hander.
Well, he's appearing in his 11th game. He's 1-1, and his ERA 5.40, 8+ innings, 7 walks. That'll get you in trouble. 3 strikeouts, 1 home run allowed. He's a little left-hander, and the way Langford is swinging the bat right now, you'll like his chances whether it's a left or right he's facing. Cardinals need to win this one just to pump some life into that charter flight going back home and get them started for an 8-game homestand. 4 against the Mets starting tomorrow night, and 4 against the Chicago Cubs, who won their first home game this afternoon against Cincinnati. So that means it's a pickup day. Cardinals can pick up a game in the standings at Central.
Don Baylor has now used his 3rd pitcher of the evening as he brings Munoz in.
Things were going too easy this 2-game series for Don. He needs to sweat a little bit. This bullpen will make you pace a little bit back and forth.
Tying run on at first in Royer. Langford digs in. He's walked his last 2 times up. Now faces the lefty Munoz. Up and in, ball 1. Rich Rodriguez is finished after pitching 1 inning. Got a strikeout. He was pinch hit for by Royer. Now Willie Smith will come in. Pitch the bottom of this 8th inning. 2-0 to Langford.
You fall behind to Ray Langford. Mentioned that he has walked 7 batters in 8 1/3 innings. When you're pitching behind, you're flirting with danger.
3-0. Ozzie next. This is a restless crowd here at Mile High Stadium.
I remember a 4-game set we had last year in July. It didn't matter. You didn't know if you won or lost. You were just beat up in the game. That was just us, the broadcasters.
3-1 on Langford.
Cardinals were 2-2 in that 4-game set. We'll do that again in July here, won't we?
Hopefully fare a little better. Cardinals trying to come from behind tonight and spoil the night for a crowd of 51,639. They watch as Munoz gets ready for the 3-1 pitch to Langford with Royer at first and 2 out. Ooh, he had a rip. Full count, and Royer will take off with this next pitch.
He had a fastball.
Ozzie would be next if Langford keeps it going. Royer will be running. We're in the 8th inning, and the Rockies lead by 1.
Shook off the changeup. Going to throw him a fastball.
Ooh. Barely, and the tying run is at second. The go-ahead run is at first after the walk, and that's the 2nd walk given to the Cardinals in the inning and the 7th in the game. And the Cardinals will pinch run now. Bring Brian Jordan in to pinch run for Stan Royer, and then they'll leave Jordan in that number 9 spot. So Royer was successful in his pinch hitting efforts. And now Don Baylor sees the tying and go ahead runs on base. Boy, that pitch barely missed.
Well, I tell you what, I don't think either one of us would have complained if he would have called it a strike.
Now it's Ozzie. 2 on, 2 out. That pitch moved. Strike 1.
Now, Ozzie's been up in some key situations. He's extended the inning a couple times to bring up Jeffries. Right now, let's have Ozzie do it.
In the fists. 0-2. went a third of an inning, allowed 3 runs on 2 hits. Reed went a third of an inning, still responsible for a man out there. Now it's Munoz, the 0-2 to Ozzie. Tying run at second, go ahead run on at first, 8th inning, 2 out. 1-2 pitch. You're not going to get Ozzie to go after those pitches. The count 2-2. You might as well go right after him. Ooh, what a rip by Ozzie.
Ozzie had a good rip.
Wow.
Ball was up a little bit and he got on top of it, fouling it back.
He was thinking long ball there.
Munoz has been with the Dodgers, Detroit, and now Colorado in the big ones.
And Ozzie stays alive. Great speed on the bases for Ozzie, who waits for a 2-2 pitch.
It's the first time he's ever faced the Cardinals.
Jordan and Langford aboard, 2 out. Cardinals down by a run here in the 8th. To third, what a play by Hayes. Got the man at first. Oh, what a play by Charlie Hayes. Ozzie hit it hard, it turned him around, but he completed the play and the inning is over. The Cardinals get 3, and as we go into the 9th inning, bottom of the 8th, actually a 1-run game.
If it's time to do a little groundbreaking, don't go at it the old-fashioned way. Tear through it with a garden claw from Garden Weasel.
Just position it like this, and you'll be ready to cultivate, loosen, aerate, and weed.
The hardened steel tines rip through tough soil with just a twist of the Comfort Grip handles, even in heavy clay.
And it comes with a 100% lifetime guarantee.
So if you've got a tough job ahead of you, tear through it the easy way with the Garden Claw.
From Garden Weasel.
The Garden Claw is available at Kmart, Sears, and participating Hardware Hank and Coast to Coast stores.
These Chrysler Plymouth people have just gone too far. Chrysler minivans are already #1 in sales, and still, Chrysler Plymouth makes improvements, exceeding 1998 safety standards now. Then this, up to $2,600 in cash back and option savings. Right, up to $2,600 on Plymouth Voyager, Grand Voyager, and Chrysler Town & Country. Up to $2,600 in savings. Madness at the minivan store. At your Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
It's a test of nerves, a play for perfection. The right combination can make you #1. Game, set, match. Prime Tennis spotlights clay. Some take it in stride. Others are just mystified. Todd Martin and Mal Washington lead the field at the USTA Clay Court Classic. Game, set, match. Coverage begins Saturday morning at 10 Mountain, live on PSN.
This game summary is brought to you by Smooth Bush Beer and Easy Drink and Bush Light. Head for the mountains of Bush. We're into the bottom of the 8th inning. The Rockies lead 5-4 thanks to this play by Charlie Hayes. He came up with it, spun around and got Ozzie at first. Dug out by Galarraga. That probably would have given the Cardinals the lead. Instead, Hayes made the play. And as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, the Cardinals still down by a run as they turn the game over to Willie Smith.
Well, Willie been getting roughed up a little bit. He's only pitched 3 innings in his first 4 appearances. He's walked 2. He's given up 5 hits, 3 home runs. Opponents are batting .357. Joe brought him in last night to kind of build his confidence, give him a little bit of work, and he had to take him out after 2/3 of an inning and 2 bombs. About 900 feet of home runs. But here,
the Cardinals, by the way, Al, in the 9th inning will have Jeffries, Zeal, and Gilkey. If anybody gets on Mabry. So if Willie Smith can keep this a 1-run game, let's take our chances.
Take our chances, you know, and you wonder, are they going to be facing the left-hander Munoz, or will they go to Darren Holmes?
Would have to believe it would be Holmes, but he's not throwing.
But he's not throwing.
Especially with right-handed hitters coming up.
You would think so. Now the bullpen may become active.
Into right field. Mabry got a good jump on that ball and in foul ground. 1 out. Boy, he got a good first step and made the grab, and Darren Holmes will indeed crank it up and pitch the ninth. So one away, and the batter will be Roberto Mejia.
Willie Smith will throw 95 miles an hour, but so far we haven't seen much of a breaking ball at all. And that's what the hanging breaking ball is, what they hit out last night. Bagwell hit a fastball to dead center field in the Astrodome.
Into left center field. That's extra bases. Mejia doubles off the wall. Will he try for 3? No. A one-out stand-up double.
Now these hitters at the big league level, they can get around on high octane fastballs. You got to throw them something, a little breaking ball. Can't throw it right down the middle. This guy will turn on just about anybody's fastball, and the ball jumps off his bat. Look at that, one hops the left center field area, and that's nearly 400 feet away. He gets a double here. There's one out, but Joe Coleman wants to talk to the big man.
Willie Smith will face a pinch hitter, John Vanderwall, who will bat for Munoz.
Here's a dead fastball hitter too. That's probably what Joe Coleman going out to talk to him about. But the problem is Willie really doesn't have anything else in his arsenal.
Munoz went 2/3 of an inning, allowed no runs or hits, walked a batter. It'll be Holmes in the ninth. So important to keep this a one-run game. Cardinals have had great bullpen work tonight. Cimarelli struggled but got out of it thanks to Habian, who pitched well. So did Rodriguez. Vanderwall pinch hitting, the former Expo. Looks at strike one.
Article in the paper today saying Vanderwall was informing everyone he does have a glove, but you don't see it too often. He is a pretty good pinch hitter, and he's a fastball hitting specialist.
Walt Weiss is next. Two. Heart of the order coming up for the Cardinals in the ninth. Willie Smith trying to keep it a 5-4 game. He's given up a one-out double. Now the 0-2 to Vanderwall. Almost.
Willie from Savannah, Georgia. His 5th organization already. He's 26 years of age. Not pitch at all last year. He had elbow surgery with bone chips. And Jim Baines is the one that saw him in January throwing 95. Got the Cardinals to sign him.
1-2. Something off speed there. Was that the slider? Or did he just let up?
I think he just basically has a fastball and slider.
Vanderwall wouldn't go after it. 1-2. Runner at second, one out. Bottom of the 8th inning. 5-4 Colorado. Got him with the heat. First strikeout for Willie Smith, and it will be up to Walt Weiss. That was 94 miles an hour.
94 miles an hour, but the best thing is the location. Watch, they set up, down, and away. And look at that. Now, if you can do that, you can take good fastball hitters, and they aren't going to hurt you. You can't throw it over the middle of the plate and expect you to just get by with velocity. You have to pitch a little bit.
Walt Weiss with a runner at second and 2 out.
Want to know about Walt Weiss.
Bob Tewksbury, who pitched against the Rockies in St. Louis, was spectacular. But he said, with due respect to all their big hitters, Walt Weiss is the one that I fear the most.
We're heading to the 9th inning. Greg Jeffries will lead off for the Cardinals. He's had a frustrating night, but we'll see what he can do against Darren Holmes, the Colorado closer, to start the ninth. Then Zeal and Gilkey, 5-4 Colorado.
Hey kids, the Cardinals and Six Flags have teamed up again in '94. How's that for double fun in the sun? Come down to Busch Stadium on Sunday, June 5th, when the Redbirds take on the San Francisco Giants. And all kids 11 and under with a paid admission will receive a free pass to Six Flags. That's a savings of $18.95. Remember, that's Six Flags Day, Sunday, June 5th at the ballpark.
For the first time ever, you can preview from the greatest collection of aviation videos ever assembled. Military aircraft, spaceflight, home build, air racing, aerobatics, antiques, and air shows. The Video Catalog Preview Tape is a revolutionary new way of video shopping. See what you get before you buy. And best of all, the cost of the catalog is subtracted from your first order. It's like getting the video catalog free. Join Michael Landon as he rides with the Navy's Blue Angels, Christopher Reeve in a biplane over England, and step back in time when Jimmy Doolittle was known as the Human Bullet and set speed records in the GB Racer. Bill Lishman trains Canadian geese to follow his ultralight in the heartwarming Come On Geese. Marvel at the fighters and bombers of World War II. And there are many more, 25 in all. To order, call our toll-free number now with your Visa or MasterCard. Only $9.95 for over 1.5 hours of aviation action. And we refund the catalog cost on your first purchase. Call toll-free now.
The Cardinals making late noise in this game in Denver, trailing by a run and into the 9th inning with the heart of the order coming up against the new right-hander Darren Holmes, who is the closer for the Rockies. He has 3 saves.
Well, Darren Holmes is in his 11th professional season. He spent a little time with Los Angeles and Milwaukee before coming here. He's appearing in his 10th game. He's lost 2, ERA of 8, and he has 3 saves. He's really a hard thrower, and oftentimes they take a while to get their control. He also has a very good curveball to go along with that good fastball. Tortori looking over the depth chart, seeing who's left, who's available. He knows he has to get at least 1, hopefully 2, before he'll turn it back. And Jeffries, mentioned, been frustrating to this point. Knows he's never hit well in this ballpark, but he can redeem himself here.
He did drive in a run in the first inning with an RBI double, but he's left the bases loaded his last 2 times up. Now leading off, he pops the first pitch foul for strike 1. Jeffries a little anxious here. Holmes at times, Al, has had control problems. I'd like to see him be a little more selective.
Well, it's kind of hard to tell Jeffries to be selective. He just has 1 speed, and that's full speed. He can get on those high pitches, but this guy.
In the air to right, easy for Bichette, and the frustration continues for Jeffries. 1 out.
You know, the bad thing is when you get that fastball the first pitch and he gets ahead of you, then he can start throwing that, you know, that good downward breaking curveball, a true curveball.
Greg is going to leave skid marks getting out of Colorado. Now Zeal.
I like Todd Zeal here.
Trying to get aboard. He'll take a strike.
That's one of the reasons why I like it. I think he will give himself an opportunity.
Gilkey next. Base is empty, 1 out. There's the strike, and now he'll cut it loose. The Colorado Rockies, if they win tonight, will be in a tie for first place with the Giants. And in their short history, they've never been on top of the West. There's a strike, a good high pitch. You know, Zeal would like that back, and the count 1-2. 94 from Darren Holmes.
Now, well, I mentioned he can get it up there in a hurry, and he also has a breaking ball that is very wicked to adjust to. With 2 strikes. Look at that. There's the breaking ball, and Todd just hit it off the end of the bat. If you're a conspiracy theorist, Holmes and the umpire Joe West are both from North Carolina.
1-2 pitch to Zeal. Into right, but foul.
You can do whatever you want with that bit of information.
All right. Zeal waiting for the 1-2 pitch. Down the line and left, pretty well hit, has a chance. It is up against the wall, and Zeal into second base with a 1-out double. Reached out and hit that one-handed, and the tying run is on for Gilkey and or Mabry.
I told you I like Todd's chances there. Some reason. Todd knows he's played here before. He's fooled a little bit, but he gets out there, gets the extension, pops the wrist. He isn't sure, and it goes off the wall. Let's watch this pitch here. Breaking ball, but it catches too much of the plate, out in front a little bit, and he's out there in scoring position. Bernard hadn't had an extra base hit since April 17th. He's due.
Strike 1.
That was a strike, eh?
Tonight, in the 9th, it's a strike. Oh, good pitch, 0-2. A 1-out double by Zeal. But an 0-2 count on Gilkey. Mabry next. Good pitch, ball 1.
It's like Vanderwall stayed in to play left field.
You're correct, sir. So he does have a glove.
Told you.
Defensive replacement for Howard Johnson. 1-2 to Gilkey.
Ball was up there a little bit.
Some hitters take that hanging breaking ball and deposit it in the seats. A lot of hitters don't swing at that pitch today because the umpires don't call it a strike.
There's action in the Colorado bullpen. 2-2 to Gilkey. Runner at second, 1 out. And in the air to left, the Cardinals have taken the lead. A 2-run home run by Gilkey, and it is 6-5 St. Louis, their first lead of the night. After that first inning run, unbelievable. 3 runs in the 8th, 2 in the 9th. Gilkey delivers, and there's your extra base hit, Al.
That's right. He was due more than anyone else. And Bernard, you just have to make him feel good. Let's hope that's a game winner. It gives the Cardinals a lead here. And watch this pitch. Breaking ball, and it kind of stays in the inner half. He turned on this one. Whether he had a sore wrist or not, it feels pretty good right now.
Now Mabry digs in. Still only 1 out in the inning. Let's get some more because the 9th inning looks scary. Bichette and Galarraga will bat in the 9th. Howard Johnson would have led off, but he's not under the
Season's 10 games old. You played him once.
Twice. Both times we didn't lose because of Roy Dean.
Yeah, well, we didn't win because of him either. Well, why doesn't he just go find himself?
Nice going, Bernard. Pitcher Darren Holmes on the home run pitch by Bernard Gilkey. It's the 5th time that the bullpen has blown a save behind the starter Greg Harris, and there's a reaction. Sometimes those relief guys know those statistics better than anyone else. Obviously Don Baylor knows it, Greg Harris knows it, the bullpen knows it,
And as hard as you try to pick up and pitch well, it just complicates.
Look at the Cardinals. They're all of a sudden they're up on the top step. They're seeing a little life thanks to Bernard Gilkey. And Todd Zeile got it started.
Now Pena with 2 out, nobody on, and 2 men in. 1-1. Rob Murphy is getting ready to pitch in the 9th inning, and he will have a tall order ahead of him. He'll try to pick up his 2nd save. 1-2 on Pena. And Murph cranking it up, getting ready for the 9th. The 2, 3, and 4 spots will bat if anybody gets on Ellis Burks. Two and 2. Willie Smith is still in this game, so he could theoretically go back out and pitch a 2nd inning. Two-two pitch to Pena. Back-to-back strikeouts after the 2-run home run by Bernard Gilkey. Now it's up to the bullpen to hold the lead. We go into the bottom of the 9th inning. And after the double by Zeile on this swing of the bat, the Cardinals lead the Rockies 6-5.
Do not attempt to adjust your television set. It's not your set. It's your stomach. Your stomach is craving that one-of-a-kind steam grilled taste of White Castle. Hey, stomach, look what I got. White Castle, what you crave. We know what you're thinking. Come on. You're thinking cold, refreshing soft drinks. Crispy fries, maybe? That one-of-a-kind steam grilled taste of White Castle. Hey, here's a thought, mental note. White Castle, what you crave.
Baseball. You love the game. You know the players. You know the team. But do you really know baseball? What really is the pitcher's job? What is a hitter trying to do? And what does a manager really do besides eat sunflower seeds and spit? My new book, Essential Baseball, provides an in-depth study from the very best down to the very least offensive players in the game. We rate and rank all the pitchers, all the hitters. Our ratings provide a goldmine of fantasy baseball information. Essential Baseball even provides insight into the real prospects and farm systems, the strategy and lineup construction. Who are the best managers? This is nearly 400 pages of terrific information. Essential reading for every baseball fan. Here's how to order.
To order by phone, call 1-800-652-2112 and ask for item number 604. The book is just $12.95, so call now.
The Cardinals have a 6-5 lead into the bottom of the 9th inning thanks to a double by Zeile, a home run by Gilkey. That's a home run for the Cardinals in 12 straight games, and that ties a club mark set back in the 1950s, and here it is. Enjoy it.
Hanging breaking ball. They go a long way. I think I said that a minute ago.
They go about that far back into left field seats.
Joe Torre has drained his bullpen, and he's left with Rob Murphy, who saved the game on Sunday in Houston.
See Rob Murphy appearing in his 12th ball game. He can pick up the all-important 2nd save and pick up the entire ball club. He's held opponents to a 192 average, and he's going to have to earn this one.
All righties coming up. Eric Young will pinch hit. Then Bichette and Galarraga if anybody gets on Ellis Burks. Eric Young, a good guy to try to get something started for Colorado. He can run.
Used oftentimes as a leadoff man a year ago for the Rockies.
1-1.
Good fastball right there for Murphy. '91 from Murph. Well, he kept that ball down well.
2-1 on Young. Good relief pitching tonight by Javier Rodriguez. Willie Smith pitched a scoreless 8th. Cardinals hope for the same from Rob Murphy. More drama on May 4th. This is fun. 2-1 pitch. 2-2 and what a rip.
Murphy had his problems against Colorado a year ago, and in this ballpark in particular. But that was a year ago. We're going to see nothing but good things from the Merster.
Well, he's 2-2 on Young leading off.
He has to be getting pumped up for the Kentucky Derby.
That might be the furthest thing from his mind right now.
You really think so?
He's
Let's hope so.
Concentrating on Eric Young. 2-2 the count. Leading off the ninth. Wouldn't bite, full count, and you can't get this guy on base with the thumpers coming up.
Now you just got to go challenge him. Where you're best, take your chances.
Into right field, Mabry with the good jump, 1 out. I love his first step. And he made that catch head high. Granted, the ball carries here, but Mabry made a nice grab.
Yeah, but you're right, Joe. He does get a tremendous first jump or step on the ball. Great anticipation. And, you know, if you look out there and you watch where the ball was hit off the bat, even here, if you're playing deep enough, you still know
and have the instincts that the ball will not get over your head. So Torrey is 1/3 of the way there. Murphy is also.
We got a couple of big thirds coming up in Bichette and Galarraga. Here's Dante. Ball 1 low. Dante last year homered in a save situation in which Murphy was in the game in extra innings here in Colorado. So time for a little payback from the Murph. Look where Pena had him play. 2 out. Was he deep enough? 2 gone as Bichette grounds out almost literally up the middle, and it's up to Galarraga.
Not only was he deep, but he was close to the second base bag. Playing on the grass.
Look where he is.
That's fine.
If Dante Bichette wants to drop down a bunt and push it by the pitcher, I guess he'll be on first base. But Joe Torre
is saying, okay.
He's cool.
How about these fans? They are great baseball fans. They appreciate everything that happens,
unless it's the relief pitching's work.
But they're on their feet for Andres Galarraga.
And it's stating the obvious, Al, but what the heck, we specialize in that anyway. You really miss Mike Perez with these right-handed bats coming up. His absence sorely felt here tonight, but Murphy trying to do the job in his absence.
And you know, Joe, if we can just keep on winning a couple games in the absence of all the injured players, it's quite an accomplishment. They will be back.
Zio is playing deep. Can he do it? Safe, and the tying run is on. How about that? If the Rockies got bad breaks and the ball's hit by Young and Bichette, they got a good break there.
Well, this is the downside of playing shallow. He gets jammed right here, and the big cat still runs pretty good for a guy at 230, and he's safe right there. And Murphy was hoping, but he'll have to face one more batter.
Now it's up to the player of the month for April in the National League, and Don Baylor hoping that his man Ellis Burks can do it yet again.
Now these Murphy and Burks probably played against each other.
And with each other in Boston.
That's what I mean.
1 on, 2 out. That pitch was scarily up, and Burks fouled it back, strike 1. Ellis hitting .425, and he's the last hope for Colorado, but not a bad hope to have a guy up there better than 400 is the go-ahead and winning run at the plate with Galarraga at first and 2 out, 9th inning, 6-5 Cardinals.
The American League, Burks was a .280 hitter. He had 110 lifetime home runs, 99 stolen bases. But he's healthy now. Ooh.
1-1. If Burks keeps it going and we get deeper into the order, Charlie, Hayes would be next. We're going to have a pinch runner for Colorado. Nelson Liriano will check in and Galarraga will check out.
Now they're going to either win it. They don't want to tie.
1-1 count here. Fastball. Looks like it'll settle on the slider. Started out fastball away, fastball in. Wanted the slider. Now I think he wants Terry McGriff to go back over. Maybe a changeup or a split finger.
Liriano stays at first. And there's a break. I mean, he wasn't even on his toes to the point where even had he tried to run, he would have been a dead duck despite this ball going quite a ways away from McGriff.
Well, you see he's standing flat-footed, and you have to anticipate there. Coach can't tell you what to do. You've got to know.
Obviously, you can't be thrown out at second base to end this ball game with the best hitter in the National League at the plate. But I think that was a fair assumption that if he would have been bouncing and had a proper lead, he would be standing at second.
Extra base hit. Would likely tie it. Now all of a sudden it's 3-1 on Burks. And this is a scary pitch coming up. Burks was cut loose by Boston, signed on with the White Sox, had a good year last year and helped them win a division in the American League. Now his first year with the Rockies. 3-1 pitch. Popped up foul, and that'll get out of play. Full count, and Liriano will take off with this next pitch.
89 and 90. This pitcher and batter, Burks and Murphy, played together for the Bo Sox. And now a full count, 2 outs. We'll see who the winner is.
3-2. Cardinals leading. And Burks wants time.
Doesn't look like Murphy really wants to throw him the fastball.
Tying run at first, winning run at the plate for Colorado. 9th inning. Off speed, he had him reaching. Jeffries will make the tag, and the game is over. Greg Jeffries didn't do it with a bat tonight, but ends the game on the diving tag on Burks, heading down the first baseline. And on the home run by Gilkey, the Cardinals now will have a happy flight back to St. Louis. What a play. Somebody please restart my heart.
Boy, they had to win this ball game. Change up right off the end of the bat. He fooled him badly. Now there's a little miscommunication. Who's going to take it? Who's going to be at the bag? And it was down to desperation that Jeffries, see, Murphy thinks, okay, that Jeffries going to get it all the way. Kind of gets over there, and then Jeffries says, okay, I got to dive for him. He does clip him on the back. Pulley calls him out, and the Cardinals needed this win desperately. And thanks to Bernard Gilkey, his 2-run home run, his first extra base hit since April 17th, his second of the year, gives the Cardinals a 6-5 victory.
We'll take a break. We'll come back and wrap it up. What a night of baseball in Colorado. The Cardinals score 5 in the 8th and 9th and win it 6-5.
What they do is simple. So simple it would be easy to miss it altogether.